What did I watch last night? Luke Longley.
Bruh.
I watched... Yeah, apparently it's sick.
Yeah, it's good. I told you that.
Yeah, I know. But Tim told me that last time as well. So it was being reinforced.
Yeah, right. Well,
Whose advice gave more weight? You know what I mean? Like
the father-in-law who can't seem.
He came in. He came downstairs passionate as fuck.
Okay, so he delivered better.
Yeah, it was all delivery. He was like excited.
Yeah.
You
like
weren't very excited then.
No, I wasn't that excited. And I told him on the podcast as well. And
so you kind of owe an apology, like.
Well, actually, no, I don't, because I spoke about it on the podcast and said you should have to watch this. You'd love it.
I don't remember anything we talk about on the podcast. You know that.
Many punters and dribblers came back to. Well, you did because you just said you knew that I told you.
But if you don't do it,
but I had to be sparked. It had to be sparked.
But it's all about delivery. It's like a bad movie.
No, I delivered it well on the
podcast.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, you got to watch this fucking thing.
But obviously not. He didn't remember it.
He did remember it. He even remembered then when he remembered it. Don't. He fucking remembered it.
All I'm saying is you didn't run downstairs.
Yeah, well, I couldn't have run downstairs.
Exactly.
Mate.
I know you couldn't.
One fucking
You're a
floor
victim.
apart.
You're a victim of context.
I feel like that piece of content deserved at least a stair run down.
I don't have stairs in my house.
Yeah, but you can go. I'm going down the stairs, and you could have like.
Yeah, that would like behind the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that. That's.
See, you're not committed.
No, that's played out. That joke. That joke. The stairs.
I reckon it's coming back. When was the last time you saw it?
That's not a bad point, actually. I haven't seen it for a while. Maybe it is coming back.
I reckon the stairs could make a comeback because that was the height of comedy.
That was the height of comedy in the
and
90s.
Also like your thumb and your fingers missing.
I do that for Evie all the time, and I steal her nose, and she fucking loves it. She's like, "Give me that back." But the stair thing, I might have to actually. I don't have the knees for the stairs. Maybe that's it as well. At 32, my knees might be a.
You like do it and fall over.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they strengthening them up though?
I'm trying to strengthen them up, Eddie. Trying to.
Are they feeling better?
No, they're not.
Are they feeling limber?
Well, it's a week. You know, like what's a week going to give you? Not much. Except that I did run my fastest splits yesterday on splinty shins.
What were you running?
Nothing great, 5:30, but
that's okay. That's good, mate.
That's good. I was doing sixes a week before.
That's actually really good.
Well, that's 30 seconds. Well, that's 30 seconds a K, mate. That's a lot.
I think you got to back yourself, mate.
Well, look, I just don't want to come in here and get everyone fucking, start looking over their shoulder at me, fucking hoofing after him, I'm just trying to keep a level head. I don't eat anything, though. I tell you that much. I am malnourished.
Constantly hungry? Are you doing the fasting thing? Are you trying that?
Yeah.
It's the best way.
It's the only way.
Yeah, it really is.
And then when I was like, I'll eat dinner, whatever's there, I'll eat. And I've had an apple today. Yeah. And I just had avocado and a wrap.
Do you feel clear mentally, though? I feel like it clears you up mentally.
I think I do.
Fasting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I do. I don't know, though, to be honest. I'm all over the place in my brain.
You're a bit harsh on yourself today, mate. You're running well. You lost a bit of weight.
Thanks, guys. Look, maybe I just needed it because I got roasted within an inch of my life by my missus before I came here. Sent me one of those big, long texts that you got to read and you're like, oh, fuck off. So, maybe that's it.
Fuck, we're all in the trenches, boys.
Fuck.
We're all in the trenches. Yeah.
Yeah.
All good?
Just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar, brought to you by Bloke in a Bar beer. A beer owned by a bloke that you know, not by some huge multinational company. It's just a fucking dude with a big nose that had a very average career in rugby league. You know me. So grab a case of Bloke in a Bar from your local. Actually, we're going to spotlight 10 stores you can grab it from. The Caxton Hotel Brisbane, East End Hotel Bundaberg, the Belrose Bayfields, Metro Sydney, Station Hotel Lismore, Pakenham Bottle in Melbourne, Kilmore Celebrations, Superbarn Express Flory in ACT, Southern New South Wales. Want to be technical here, whatever it is, it's one of those things, but I'm aware that it may not be the other. So don't get angry at me. Do you know what I mean?
It's fair.
So it's in ACT, but it's also in South New South Wales. So I'm right both ways. Also Adelaide, the Bridgeport Hotel, Tasmania, Celebration Eastlands, and Perth/Western Australia, Liquor, Barons, Swanbourne. You know what is really interesting is I said I was going to read 10 locations. I didn't realise how long that was going to take.
10's a lot.
You've coded the nation in bloke there, though, just to see That was almost a flex to start the podcast.
Well, you've gone coast to coast.
Yeah.
You've gone coast to coast. I think Northern Territory probably a little hard done by, but the rest of the country.
We are in Northern Territory, actually. So check www.blokeinabar.com. Put in your little Northern Territory thing. We actually are in
So you have coded the nation.
Yeah, we have coded the nation in Bloke.
Okay.
Bloke
Love that.
has been coated in the in Mother's Milk that is Bloke in a Bar. Is there anything that you guys have to push other than you still got hats left, correct? Make sure to send them a message. I think they've got a few left that they don't have on their website.
No hats.
Send a message.
No hats. Look, by all means, reach out, but we will
No,
have
but
to.
didn't you tell me?
I
that
would
they
say
had-
this. No, I'd say this. Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled
Peel 'em.
because there's things coming, but you're going to have to stay peeled. You're going to have to stay ready. You're going to have to
yeah.
stay sharp between the eyes because when something pops up, it's going to be so limited.
Wow.
So limited
Yeah.
that you're going to have to be a real quick.
It basically won't exist. That's how limited
It'll
it
be
is.
like, there it's gone.
And if your eyes aren't, what is peeled like? Peeled like that?
No,
Like,
you got to like fold them back so that even when you close them, they're open.
so like sit at the phone like that.
Because if you try,
And if you can't peel them, tape them.
Tape them open. That's all right.
Can't peel them, tape them. And just sit in front of the computer and refresh every, I don't know, 10 seconds for the next month and a half. And you may strike gold.
Yeah.
And would
Maybe
you ever
more
wonder, like, where does sayings come from? Like, who was the first person to go, like, obviously there was the first person who said, they're like, oh, imagine if you peeled your eyes back. But then, like, how did that become a saying that we now say? You
I
know what
love
mean?
sayings. Do you know what to win hands down means?
No, I don't.
I believe, and this is
I
Dior.
know
Obviously, he didn't whip the horse, or the rider didn't whip the horse to
way.
win. Yeah, so you win hands
Yeah.
down, you win easy.
That's also like my mum and my grandma used to always say my mum says old timey sayings because her mum said old timey sayings, but don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
What's that?
So it's like if you are gifted a horse, if it's an old horse, its gums are receded. So if I give you a horse and you go to look at its mouth, you're going to see how old it is, and it's like, oi, it's a gift, bruh. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Just accept it.
Just accept the gift for what it is.
And that's why long in the tooth as well, because it's like if the tooth is long, the gums have receded, so it's an older horse.
Way.
because he's long in the tooth.
Yeah.
He's old.
But like, what's crazy is like that. So someone first said it, and then what was it? A group of mates just dribbling and yarning.
Yeah, I think so.
And then another mate came in that was connected to another group of mates, whether it was female or male, and then the dribble and yarn just exploded. You know what I mean? How does it happen?
I wonder how these things start. Obviously, some sayings started from a singular point where it was just pure dribble and pure yarn, and that's sort of like the
Exploded.
Sort of like the Big Bang. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The Big Bang of this dribble and this
And
yarn
it's gone everywhere.
Yep.
went global.
The big
Whereas other ones like long in the tooth, I think that would be said multiple places, and then it just becomes common because it
Potentially.
is a thing that is.
Look, maybe a
like-
picture's worth 1,000 words might have started from one person though.
I
Because
reckon
it's
100%. A picture worth 1,000 words isn't like a fact.
not- No,
Yeah.
it's just it's a
That
vibe.
was from a dribble and yarn.
Oh, absolutely. Do you reckon he had a few beers deep, and he said, you know what, a picture, or maybe a few fucking.
I think
some of
that's
this-
more. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
maybe a bit of MDMA, a bit of
Yep.
marijuana. He's a bit ooh.
Well, how old do you reckon it is?
Fuck.
Picture's worth 1,000 words.
It'd be old. I think it's old.
Do you reckon
Well,
it's?
gotta
Do
be
you,
a
but do you
picture,
reckon
though.
it's old?
Because like picture,
I don't think it's old.
Is it
Recent modern.
Is it painting? Is that
Painting,
like
picture, same
or is
thing.
it a photo picture?
yeah.
I think would it have started with paintings worth 1,000?
Well, I don't know.
Mate, this shit I love thinking about.
Yeah, it fucking.
Think about this. At a certain point in time, there would have been someone that was the best thrower of all time.
like as in thrower of rocks.
Yeah, so someone that could kill from a distance. Like there would have been a motherfucker, right?
Yeah, yep.
Who was the best killer, and he always dragged back like fucking antelope and shit, and all the honeys just loved him, and he was just the king.
Fucking oath, and he.
Do you know
was,
what I mean? Like at a certain point, there
Yeah.
was the best thrower of all time who
Yeah.
could kill anything from fucking 50
and,
minutes.
and you know, like they're all sitting around. They need a bit of food.
do you know what I mean?
They sent some of the youngins out. They didn't get the job done.
No,
and then the fucking big dick dog
Yeah.
comes out and says, you know, we'll go get the fucking greatest thrower of all time.
Yeah, we gotta get
He
the greatest
fucking walks
thrower.
out, Billy Dollar strut.
Yeah.
Gets the antelope, comes back, and gets his piece out at the same time.
But like he knew he was a motherfucker, but
Yeah.
not even he would have known
That he was the
that in the
greatest thrower.
history of planet
Yeah,
Earth,
that's
he's the
so true.
greatest ever thrower.
Well, now we know it's probably someone more like Ricky Ponting.
Well,
with the
in
greatest
modern
respect.
day, I mean, look, it's we can't compare eras, Tom. We've talked about that before, but whether or not Ricky would have stacked up against the great throwers all time,
from sort of
only time knows.
Well, yeah, or maybe only like higher powers know.
Yeah.
Truly,
Sure.
do you think Ricky Ponting knew that he at that period was the greatest thrower? In
Ricky
his
could have
generation?
missed. I'm pretty sure there's a video on YouTube. It's like an hour and a half of all of Ricky's
Goes
international
no, it's like
cricket
seven. It's like
runouts.
7 hours.
Yeah, all of his international cricket runouts, and it's absolutely worth a watch if you just got fuck all going on.
For the uninitiated, Ricky Ponting never missed,
No, he actually never missed.
not once.
Who is the greatest cricketer of all time?
Don Bradman.
Don Bradman.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
No.
Not even close.
Like, and it's not even close.
No, like
Statistically,
statistically, it's not even. How many ducks did he have to get? I think he's got to get like 50 ducks in a row to go back to second best.
No, but the argument, I'm sure, I don't know much about cricket, but the argument could be made that the standard of cricket wasn't as high. And again, I'm not saying that that's
not how you. That's not how, you can't compare that way.
But also,
I'm just saying
even
that
then, he's still statistically so much better than anyone.
Yeah.
If he was alive today, he would still be the best.
What do you reckon it was? Do you know what I mean? Like it's one thing to be like, for example, Usain Bolt comes out and fucking like he's got the perfect mechanics. He's you know what I mean? He's got everything that you can see. Oh, that's why he's 10 meters faster than everyone, or 3 meters, or 5 meters. You know, what do you reckon the Don had? Because it didn't seem like he was overly athletic. You know what I mean?
It was hand-eye.
Must have been
It's
hand-eye.
just hand-eye. Like, he could see the ball better than anyone else, and he was able to fucking not get out, basically.
You want to talk about greatest hand-eye of all time? He'd have it.
You reckon?
Comfortably.
So you reckon like even
He's
ping-pong,
like,
he would've
in
been-
world sport, he's a statistical anomaly.
Yeah, when anyone's doing their
Like
top 10 list
he's
of,
the
like,
biggest
greatest athlete.
outlier in world sport.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Like I knew he was the GOAT, but I didn't know that like compared to others. So he's like the MJ.
No, he's the GOAT of
No,
goats.
MJ is the Don of fucking basketball. Like, statistically, you look at anything Don Bradman's done and like how far out in front he is from his peers, from anyone else in the sport. It's just like nothing. No one comes
and like
close.
no one's come even.
No
But the
one's
GOAT
even
of
getting
goats,
close.
so like if you analysed all the goats against each other, he's number one amongst the goats.
So,
even
like,
Kelly
even Brady-
Slater.
Brady
Even
in
Kelly
that?
Slater.
Yeah, no, shits
Even
on
Kelly
all.
Slater. Wow. Brady, Slater, Jordan.
Incredible. And
he
didn't
shits all over him.
I was listening to a podcast of yours like, would have been 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, and you were talking about how they bulldozed his local cricket down or something like that, or they put some housing on it?
There was something, I don't know if there was
I don't
one
know if that went ahead.
No, I think there was something potentially, I think maybe in the Southern Highlands. I can't remember, but there was something where it was like they were going to be building some maybe like medical facility on a cricket pitch that he used to use. Do your own research on this one. But there was like a petition to stop him from doing it.
Of course, like the GOAT of goats. Like we should, everywhere that he ever, not everywhere, but you know what I mean? If it's where he grew up playing, that should be a fucking shrine to the
I'm
bloke.
pretty sure his house in Barrel, which is where I grew up, punters and dribblers, I'm pretty sure his house down there, which is right next to Bradman Oval where I didn't score any runs, is like, you can't touch it.
I'm pretty sure the house he was born in Cootamundra, same thing. I think it's a museum now.
I think that's a great thing. Like it should be, what do they do when the government, a block of land or whatever
Like
becomes
heritage
listed.
Yeah.
They should do all that.
they'd be heritage listed. Yeah, for sure.
So Sir Donald Bradman.
Sir Don, the greatest to ever fucking do it.
You know how we started that with words. I'm not sure how we got to Bradman, but what is good that we didn't get to Manly somehow, which is very surprising.
It was coming though. You know that if you let
it, lost and you don't feel as confident.
I'm actually
More confident.
I'm more confident that we win the comp after that game, and I don't know how anyone isn't. Every fucking bit of coverage from that game was like, Manly were looking good there. Manly showed there was a blueprint there for how to beat the Storm.
You said it yourself.
No,
You're like,
that was a
Manly's the
joke.
real deal.
Yeah.
No, I was punking everyone.
No, you weren't.
I think you
post
said
was
Manly
a
real
complete
deal.
punking.
You try
Welsh even said
and
it.
punk on this show, like with us, you try and punk, but like on Instagram, you're deadly
that was
serious.
punk on the ground.
No way, bro.
That was a good old-fashioned Whipple. That's about punking everyone.
I don't buy that shit.
No, that incredibly...
You liked what you saw, mate. It's okay. It's okay to say you like what you saw.
It was a joke. It was.
Now-
I'm
So you didn't
surprised-
like what you saw?
I'm surprised that people took that post seriously.
You didn't like what you saw?
Look, I thought there was flashes of brilliance.
Yeah.
But outside of that...
What I want to do, firstly, with regards to this game, is remove refereeing from the conversation. I don't want to talk about it.
No.
Because that's not
It's
what
not
this...
worth it.
It's not worth it, and it cheapens the issue.
It's not. It's also. It's not important.
It's not important. Melbourne played probably their best they've ever played as a club. They can't get any better than that, right? Like that's their zenith, I believe the word
I think
is.
Bellamy came out afterwards saying that's the best a team he's coached has ever played.
Yeah, that's their zenith. Manly dropped every other ball, and we also, not mentioning the referees, had someone who was officiating the game who was working against us potentially, but not important.
7. What was it? 7-0.
7 penalty count. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Something like that. It was like a difference of 7. We dropped like 15
We
seeds.
also dropped a lot of ball though, so the referee doesn't.
Tommy
matter.
dropped one. Garrick's fucking fumbled him. Like mistakes that won't happen twice. You know what I mean? Mistakes that won't happen twice. And then you start to think to yourself, okay, they get someone that can ref. Not that that's important. They switch on a little bit more and they don't drop all that seed. And you start to go, okay,
We basically win that.
holy shit. does Manly win that game?
Yeah.
And the conclusion that I've arrived at, that Tom's arrived at, that the nation's arrived at, and clearly you have, based on your Instagram post, is that Manly are the real fucking deal.
Yeah.
And it's now been cemented in stone. And come September, come October, more importantly, where the Bickies are won,
You know what's crazy?
I think we get the job done.
Actually, last year, they were my dark horse. And this year, I was like, I don't know if they'll make the 8. And so it's like, it's crazy to see that is actually coming to fruition. I just was worried that if Tommy was in and out, you know what I mean? It would constantly, they'd be starting.
Yes. Well, I mean, that would have been the case. He's been able to sort of string some games together, right? So it's been good.
Touch wood.
Off the back of yours
Eddie's
truly.
hamstring. Another little bit of omenry for you, and for those of you that aren't aware, I can't imagine there aren't, but Eddie and I are professors in omenry. 2008, I believe, and I only just read this somewhere, did no research into it myself. 2008, Manly lose to Melbourne, August 11, heading into the finals. Now, the final in 2008, I can't remember the score, Eddie. Melbourne-Manly, what was it?
Jeez, I don't know. Did it start with a 4?
It might have. Not 4-0? Not 4-0.
Started with a 4.
It started with one. 40
Is it 4-0-0, something like
40
40
nil.
nil?
It was 40 0. So
That's crazy.
you think about that.
Eh? That's weird.
We lose to Melbourne going in.
Oh, you don't remember that?
No, I think what I do remember is
You remember
really,
the semi-final you lost in 2011?
I do, against Melbourne Storm. No, Manly are the real deal. They absolutely are the real deal. But before we get into that, we will. That was my own fault. I took us down.
Yeah,
there,
dude.
so
I thought you wanted to go into it. I was like, well, fuck it.
I'm not blaming you.
I was happy talking about the Don.
Yeah.
I just
you
stayed
open
on the Don all day.
You open the door.
But yeah, the one word that I always, and you hear it regularly, that I fucking love because it's so, is breakfast. Like breaking my fast over time got changed to breakfast.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? That's so like what word, like are we going to say lol in 100 years?
I say lol sometimes now.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
G'day
say
is
lol as
G'day, yeah.
like more
Sarcastically.
Yeah,
But that's
sarcastically.
how it
like
starts.
lol.
But that's how it starts. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that specifically, but like what words today in 100 years, are going to be abbreviated enough to where like it's like, I'm going to break my fast being,
Yeah.
I've been fasting for the night. I'm going to break it then to breakfast,
I heard, and I can't remember what podcast I heard it on, but it was someone saying that they think that emojis are going to become like our version of hieroglyphs.
Yeah, I can see that, which is crazy.
Which is pretty wild to think about, right? Just in that, like, it's just a shorthand of just people you just use an image to.
You know what's mental is when emojis first came out, I never used them
Good Lord.
because I thought they were feminine. Did you ever think that?
Emojis?
Yeah, when they first came
How many
out, I felt
are you?
like,
Do you use emojis often?
now I use them. I don't go crazy though. I feel like when you're using too much emojis, you're actually trying to hide something.
I use the brain.
I love the brain explosion.
And I use the crying, laughing one because
And
it's
I'm-
easier than fucking.
I'm a big shucker.
You're a
as
shucker
well.
man.
Yeah.
I'm
I
a
like the
fist pump.
shucker and the crying laugh. Not
Crying
the the crazy guy on the side. Not as much. Like just the crying laugh.
It's
So you're
just-
going to go like full crying or just the little tears like that?
I'm out the sides, dude. I'm
You're
that
out the
guy.
sides?
like that guy. Not crying.
But I think that's even funnier. Like, what's funnier, the tears out the side or full tears?
Well, see,
Well,
I
it-
wasn't sure if he's actually crying.
Well, I think that
I think it's flooding down his face.
yeah,
is
but I
it
think it's
not?
been like co-opted. Initially, it was crying, but I think people have been like crying, laughing, and they've co-opted the initial.
So they've taken the sad emoji.
Well, it's like the eggplant,
Well, the eggplant.
That has been co-opted.
That-
Oh, I know, but
And a
I
peach.
use the eggplant as it was intended.
Yeah.
So you reckon the blokes and ladies?
I
at
set
Apple-
out the eggplant all the time. I go, what's for dinner?
I'll show you. I'll show you what's for dinner.
Oh god.
But did you feel that when it first started? Emojis?
Yeah, probably.
A
Like,
bit
I mean,
like-
I'm just trying to think about when they came out. I probably
Well-
was also trying to be cool, and I'm like, these are emojis. Are for
Yeah,
kids.
you're a late adopter in that way. You
Yeah.
think things are lame, and then
Yeah.
everyone does them, and then you do
And
them
then I
too.
just,
Yeah.
I'm
Do
slow
you
on the
feel-
uptake.
I tell you what, it would have been handy having emojis back in the day when you used to pay 25 cents per text, and you used to try and keep things under
yeah.
the character limit. So you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like all that fucking shorthand.
I had a
shit.
chick bag me out once when I was like 14 or 15. I was sending her a text message. I was obviously into her. And I was
Right.
using all the shorthand, like, you, da,
Yeah,
da.
yeah.
And she's like, can you please use grammar in your text? This is so fucking... And I was like, yeah, no worries. Now I'm like, punctuation.
Yeah, and
I'm
he would
Mr.
have sent one more
Punctuation.
message and then run out of fucking...
Run out of credit.
Run out of credit, and then you would have been done. Like,
Mate, coming from the guy who's counting his fucking text message length. But it was certainly, it shocked me. It was like, oh, okay, I had to basically pull back and now I'm like a grammar.
You're a grammar Nazi.
Yes.
So do you feel that, like, is TikTok the emojis of 10 years ago? You know, because every time something comes out, the younger generation, they start it and everyone's like, cringe, cringe, cringe. But do you think it's going to make its way through to the older generation?
What, TikTok?
TikTok, yeah.
It's a different generation thing. I don't think that can
Instagram
cross.
Snapchat started quite young.
There's just sort of like, I guess.
But what it's used for.
Yeah, the utility
is
value of TikTok is kind of.
But they will grow that. Just like
Yeah.
Instagram was just photos and then, you know, the caption.
But a photo is not exclusively used by Instagram. Like Instagram didn't fucking populate photos. Photos were always used, right?
Yep.
Whereas like dancing to camera is not something that we've done historically as people.
But now
But
it
they
is
do more than
changing.
that. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. They do, that's where it started. It's got like Instagram started with just the pictures, but now they do videos and there's like, you know, fucking so much you can do on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, could it TikTok eventually evolve into something that we eventually go, oh, all right. You know, because like when Snapchat and Instagram came out, it was all like, oh, that's for the bloody kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And then eventually everyone's on it, you know?
We got
And
D or
Facebook's
Dave
now.
started a Hello Sports TikTok, but I've never used it or opened it or looked at it, and we didn't. I don't know if we've used it ever. It was like, oh, TikTok, let's get on it. And then it was like, well, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So,
yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah, I
And-
took the Bloke in a Bar name and then I haven't really used it.
yeah, that's
I used to, you know, the reason why TikTok's so powerful is because you're giving everyone that, because everyone's a content creator now, whether they like it or not, you're giving everyone tools to edit and you're making editing accessible. That's why it's so successful. It's
Yes.
like you get these little kids that they don't want to sit on fucking Adobe Premiere or After Effects or whatever. They can literally just sit on their phone and edit some real cool content together and upload it. I reckon that's why it's so popular and what Instagram missed the boat on, which they're trying to catch up on. But we're not here for that kind of talk.
No, we're not.
We're here for good old footy chat.
Good
Now,
Honest Rugby League.
Good Honest Rugby League. And talk about Good Honest Rugby League, we've got to talk about Tales from Tiger Town. I know you guys didn't have a chance to watch it last night.
Didn't, unfortunately.
I watched it. I gave a little review after the thing. So I think if you won't get... I mean, this podcast. So what I thought was interesting was... obviously, it's from Michael Maguire's perspective again. It does seem like... It seems like the players aren't like... It's hard because they're losing. Obviously, they're not going to enjoy their footy. But it does seem like they're not confident in their footy. And so I think you could see that in the dressing room. Like, he would try to talk to them and a lot of them would be like... It seemed like they were too not confident enough to speak up, kind of. So it is interesting to see what is going to happen because the next episode, I think, will cover the Melbourne Storm.
Oh,
So it's just ratcheted up.
The shellacking.
The absolute shellacking.
Jesus.
Adam Dewey, though, what is Adam doing? He's a legend. If you watch it for one thing, watch it for Adam Dewey.
Yeah.
He was fucking so funny. Him spraying Madge. You clutch or what? You clutch or what? Oh, not Madge, he was spraying Reynolds, sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you want to hear my review of that, go to my Instagram or my Facebook and it'll break it down. I don't want to bore these young gentlemen.
Not bore. I'm planning on watching it tonight. It was just that last night, unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch it.
Life got in the way, Tom. Life got in the way.
Life gets in the way
With,
sometimes.
like in relation to you thinking the players are lacking the confidence to even speak to Madge, is that... Should he be fostering an environment where they should feel like they can say something?
Well, it's hard to explain unless you watch it. Like, it's more not... I don't think they're too scared to speak to Madge, but in a group, like, Matt, did you watch it, Matt? And are you getting the same feeling I got when you're watching it or not?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, he'll ask them something and they'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like not scared, but like
Not confident.
It's like-
Haven't they got
like a
leaders
school-
in the fucking team? Like,
Well, when you think about it, Tarmout's been there a year and he's struggling with form. Moses Mboy has openly been said from the Tigers that we're trying to move you on. So how could he be confident to talk up? He's like, I fucking want to get rid of me.
but if they want to move you on, aren't you a little bit like, fuck it, all right, well, let's just bloody...
Swing from the hip a little bit?
Yeah, but like, so you're in front of 70 other fucking alpha dogs and the club is openly saying, we are trying to get rid of you. It is very hard to step up and be like, come on, boys, get behind me. It's like, bro, you don't even want to, like, you're not even going to be at the club this, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
If the club
yeah.
had their way, you wouldn't be here. You know, so it's very hard to be confident in front
I'm
of
going to follow you into battle, bro.
Whereas Adam Dewey is that, you know, they've gotten the back of him and he has really stepped up. If you watch Doco, like he's going to be the captain next year, 100%. What are you going to say, Matt?
I was gonna say it looked like a classroom at some points.
Yeah,
You know, when like the bystander effect, how no one wants to say anything. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
no one stood up.
Watch it. You'll see what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. And
That's not good.
it's hard because you want to be you want to hold them accountable. But for example, when I was playing under Wayne, sometimes you'd walk in at half time and you'd be losing by, 16-4 or maybe more, 20-4. And you'd be like, fuck, Wayne is going to lose his shit. Or even after a game, Wayne is going to fucking blow up. And he'd come in laughing. He'd be like, fuck, it's all good. Fuck, oh, well, we lost that one, boys. Have a beer, go enjoy yourself. And everyone would be like, oh, shit. And he was such a master of knowing when to just get us happy. Because at the end of the day, these are young adults. Like, these aren't grizzled veterans that are like, go to work. And sometimes a lot of footy players, you just got to get them happy.
Yeah.
Genius. Yeah. And you know when to rip and tear.
Yeah, know when to blow up. And sometimes
it,
we'd be up by 20-16 or something. He'd come in and blow up. Because he knows that we're about to.
Can he yell? He seems like obviously he's an older guy, but he just seems like someone who doesn't have the vocal ability to actually project.
Yeah, he doesn't yell. He
like
just
a bake from Wayne to just be like, oh, fuck it.
He speaks intensely.
Yes.
Intensely, sorry. And I think at the Tigers, they're trying to. It's hard because they're losing. When you're winning, it's easy for everyone to fucking be happy and enjoying life. Whereas they're trying to find that balance between, the boys actually turning up. Fuck yeah, we get to play footy. And that's why Adam Dewey's been their best player, because he's the only one that's chirpy, eh? Like probably him and Leilua, the only two that were chirpy.
Which one, BJ?
Yeah, no.
Luch. It was actually interesting, the part they did on Luciano Leilua.
Yeah, but again, their two best players are their two chirpiest one. Dane Laurie's also quite chirpy off the field. So I feel like that's probably one area where they could improve on. But other than that, it was good to see that even though their year is there's a disaster pretty much, there's still a lot of positives. There was still pretty much seeing people get their debut, seeing the fans that were sticking by them no matter what. I just love the fact that you still get to see positives in such a negative.
Yeah.
Whereas without the documentary, all you would think was like, fuck, it's been a year from hell. Whereas when you see Cinny and his mates with their shirts off in the fucking crowd loving it, you see the fan that named her dog Tommy Rodonicus. I really enjoyed it.
That was a nice moment, that Cinny moment.
The what, sorry?
Cinny's mates up in the crowd.
Yeah, bloody oath. Bloody oath. That was sick. But then you come out the next week and I think he dropped 2-3 balls.
But you forget that.
Yeah.
But
that was a problem. They showed
Tales from Tiger Town, mate. Ups and
they
downs.
showed his next week.
The next game, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, fuck, it's pretty harsh. So they show Cinny with his incredible debut, walks in, whoa, yeah, boy, let's go. And then the next game, it's slow-mo of Cinny dropping the ball and Madge going, fuck. And him going, these bloody young blokes, and he's just like, fuck, could have been a little bit less hard. I'm pretty sure Cinny's not the reason they lost. What you were saying, mate?
And they showed Madge walking up to Cinny at halftime, just going, "Yeah, you got to catch those."
Yeah, come on, catch the fucking
Oh,
ball.
really?
Just
as if he needs reminding of that.
Yeah,
thanks, mate. I've fucking got it now. What are you talking? He knows what his job is, surely.
And so, I was surprised.
Those ones.
I was surprised that they took that angle, just to fully, just focus. There would have been 15 errors in the game, but they showed just Zinny's errors.
Also, Cinny's played 2 more games since that game.
Yeah,
he hasn't even been there that much.
So that was surprising. But it's great. It's such good watching. And again, I don't think anyone. I wasn't watching it going, "Oh, there's the bad guy, there's the good guy." Not at all. I think it was. Everyone, you can see where they're coming from. Madge is just really intense, and then Mbai was kind of saying, he's a bit cranky, but we make him cranky. So you can see the position everyone's kind of in. Everyone's trying to make it work, but they kind of, I guess, have different views. Robbie Farrell also said that Madge needs to take the shackles off the players, which was interesting as well because he's known to be quite a heavy-handed coach.
A shackler of players.
You don't want to shackle footy players.
No, you can't.
Nah.
That's when you need to shackle them sometimes. Probably shackle them on a weekend or when the game's about to be torn apart by COVID. You shackle they're shackled now.
Yeah.
But I mean, who the fuck knows what this offseason is going to be after a good shackling for 6 months.
Jesus Christ, mate. If we open up after this offseason and the boys who have been shackled for 6 months suddenly become unshackled, ooh, baby.
Good luck.
How do you reckon they shackle them? Do they shackle their piece to their leg? Or do they, where do they shackle
I think
them?
you'd certainly be putting, look, if you can lock them down, I think, and this is only just from what I hear from inside.
And you get the good oil.
I get the good oil. If you lock them into a compound, then you don't have to shackle their piece. But And that's you kind of want them to feel free inside of the domicile.
I mean, look, does it go against human rights by shackling their piece? Maybe, but sometimes it's a necessary
If you
evil.
can't secure the perimeter, then you got to shackle their pieces. That's just the way it is. Like, that's just a fucking... They had an epidemiologist in there. They had all the scientists. They were like, if we can't lock this place down, that's where the fences are up. Everyone's like, fences seem like a bit much. It's like, well, what do you want? A shackled piece, or do you want... You know what I mean? So...
Make up your own mind.
So the players said, you know what? Let's get the fence in here because I don't want to shackle the piece.
I don't want to shackle the piece.
Who wants their piece shackled?
Fuck, I don't want to shackle.
If you can't cop a fence over a shackle, then
Yeah.
you've
think that
got it all wrong.
For our alpha dogs that are in Origin, because they're the big fucking throbbers. Do you think that we need to introduce the shackling of a piece to just get us through fucking the next few years over COVID if we do ever get out of this shit?
Well, for the Origin players, I mean, I think we've seen that shackling a piece during Origin camp is, there's no argument. It has to happen.
Well, you could almost argue they tried. And you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know if you can
more
shackle an alpha.
No, it's difficult.
That's true.
You know?
You can't expect a shackled piece to go out then dominate other alphas. Maybe you just let them wild.
Yeah, look, or like, what if you sort of created like a Jurassic Park-esque sort of place where it was like alphas can run wild, you introduce like wild game for them to go and fucking have to, So it's like, listen, everything's COVID safe within this Jurassic Park for unshackled alphas.
In the middle of the Pacific.
In the middle, just somewhere, you know what I mean? It's like rip and tear, do whatever the fuck you want, you can't leave.
Well, you could probably take that idea and sort of populate it over the whole off-season.
Well, you could do that
Because if you've got, how many players in the NRL?
About 400.
If you've got 400 unbridled, young, hot stallions ready to fucking rip and tear after a long, taxing year surrounded by other men, then maybe Jurassic Park's the go.
You could then also charge,
But other people can go. Like
That's business.
No, but so if you want to go hang out at Jurassic Park with these hot young footy players, 400 of them, you can go. If no one chooses to go, then it's just them by themselves again. You've got willing people showing up.
Absolutely.
But I like your idea.
I think you get good numbers.
I like the business model you're about to say.
Correct. So it's obviously you've got like, you'd have like a riverboat cruise, you could be like fucking floating down there and you're like, oh look, there's some wild fucking unshackled alphas.
There's Jairo Zumba dancing.
There's Jairo Zumba dancing with his instructor on like the fucking creek bed while I'm just floating past.
Come and watch fucking NRL alphas in the offset.
You're in a cable car going across and you're like, oh,
they're just punching on.
There's Big Nas fucking bashing some bloke.
There's 12 leagueies bashing the shit out of each other outside of a bar that we built
As well. Oh, because there's sections to the island. There's like Little Bali and Little Thailand and fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, here's some scooters you can steal.
Go to Revolver.
Is that for feeder paying off a security guard?
Yes, it is. There you go.
It's like Westworld.
Yeah, exactly. And
yes, I like that.
You can sort of like you could release like a journo in there and just be like, see if he survives. Put a GoPro on Danny Wilder and see how long he survives.
It's like a chicken run. So you go, if you can make it to the end of that fucking field and get Danny Wilder and the boys get to have a fair crack.
Yeah, and you see him all.
Danny Wilder would not survive that chicken run.
No, he wouldn't.
I don't think he'd take it on.
I don't think he's fast twitch, Danny.
Who do you think...
Danny's got no fast twitch about him. No offense to Danny, but he knows he doesn't.
Do you reckon as Danny's getting mauled, he'd have his mic out going, so what do you think about your current
I think he'd
situation?
be filming himself.
He'd go down filming himself. Yeah. It'd be all for nothing.
Okay,
Because he'd be torn limb from limb.
What journo would be paying the least odds or the best odds to make the chicken run when you've got, you got a big feeder there, you got
Journo.
Yeah, which journo? Well, if you had them all in there at once, like that's the only way. Because if you're in there by yourself, you're fucked as a journo. But if you're
bull rush.
So you put them all in there. Again, you televise that.
Oh, bloody oath. I'll sponsor it.
There you go.
A journo bull rush on Leaguey Island.
Through Leaguey Island.
Oh my God. And unlike Westworld, you can die.
That would
There's something in it.
Mate,
It's like, it's a little Hunger Gamesy, but it's fucking...
But also what you're doing is you're removing any... You tell the league, there's no legal ramifications for anything that goes on.
You're on League Island. There is no rules.
You're on League Island. There's no rules.
Well, you're in the middle of Pacific. You're in international waters.
International waters. No coppers coming after you.
No coppers. Matter of fact, the coppers are here watching.
Exactly.
Like
the coppers are actually just making sure this thing runs smoothly. Coppers are on your side now for a change.
So bull rush for that would be the main attraction, I think.
Certainly.
It'd be one of the attractions.
It'd be one of them.
For sure.
I don't know.
Bull
But,
Rush for journos. What would be interesting is like different sections of the island. You could have like all the hot boys tanning, and you row past, or you're on the boat, you go past. You've got Kalen Ponga oiled up, Cameron Murray, Sonny Bill might make an appearance as a special guest. I think League Island's a thing.
Yeah.
I think we should pursue it. I think Blandy's is an ideas man. I think he thinks of the future.
Yeah.
And I think that breaks all records.
I think so. We've also got his ear, so we're very happy to wait to ask him to take time out of his day just to at least consider the option.
The
we can
Pacific-
put some sort of PowerPoint together.
The Pacific also full of uninhabited islands that,
Yeah.
I think are prepared to put their hands up. You know?
Absolutely. Well,
if I'm an island with fuck all to do, I'm putting my hand up.
Well, I mean, if we're bidding for the Olympics, you could bid for League Island.
Yeah.
It's also probably good for a local economy for a small Pacific nation. You know what I mean? It's like, no, we're going to
Footy
get
players
tourism in there.
are
Footy
great for a
players
local
love to spend money.
Yep.
Love it.
I
Perfect.
think it's great.
Are we signing off on it? I think we shall.
I
think
think
we've
we
just
are.
signed
I
off
think the
on
PowerPoint needs to get made.
Yeah.
Hene is the guy to speak to about that.
Yeah.
Josh Hanna,
Well,
king of the PowerPoint.
Yeah, he is. Josh is the king. Undisputed.
He is the sort of goat of PowerPoints. And Seabold, he obviously got a fucking
Siebes was
mammoth deal.
Siebes actually might be the go to the PowerPoint.
6-year deal for a
6-year
PowerPoint.
deal off a PowerPoint.
Look, I know I've only coached for a year, but how's 6 sound?
That's 5 with a year
Of
in
the
my
year in
favour.
my favour.
Yeah, mine.
Love it.
My favour. Yeah.
So League Island, it's a thing coming to you, the shores near you, 2032, maybe the same year as the Olympics.
That'd be great.
Bulldogs sign Ryan James and Corey Horsburgh of one of the most strong red bloodlines we've ever seen.
Yep.
On emergency loan deals for 2 weeks, both named to play this week for the Bulldogs. You know what's crazy? Is that changes that Bulldogs pack quite dramatically.
Yeah. Who are they playing, the Dogs?
Yeah.
The Warriors. No, that does actually change. Like, I mean, do they win? I don't know. But it's certainly, like, they are two good players.
Yep.
I'm surprised Sticky's let that happen.
Has Corey's form been indifferent?
Well, there's no reserve grade footy, so I assume
so
he's
he's
probably
like, just
going, we
fuck
need him
it.
to play footy.
So
it's
then
better
they're
for
ready
us.
if we get to
Oh,
final.
and
yeah.
why not make him play for the worst team in the comp?
Yeah, it's going to be you're going to have a dig.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to have to earn
You'll
them.
be working.
Sing for their
It's
supper.
not bad. It's not a bad thought.
I don't mind the loan things as long as it's like relatively structured. The last thing, I guess, the only negative is I do feel that fans, it's a bit unfair where there's no like structure around the way we do our market. You know, like it's like just willy nilly. Oh fuck, we're going to sign this bloke. Whereas I haven't gone deep into trade windows, but at least with like trade windows, you can make content around the trade
Well,
window.
the AFL has that. NRL
Yeah.
has the NRL scandal off season, but the AFL actually extend their season by like a couple of weeks with their whole trade
Yeah.
window thing.
The thought clearly is we've got our hands full with the off-season. We don't need
Yeah,
a
we need
trade
to just
window.
we need to monitor fucking unshackled NRL players. We don't fucking need to.
Well,
worry
I mean, like we've always said, Tom, that the best marketing is the marketing done by the players in the off-season. And clearly there isn't an urgency nor a need from the NRL to market
No. Well,
a
AFL go-
2-week trade window. Like
You see
yeah,
Vlandis
right.
go, oh, you've got 2 extra weeks to you AFL with your trade window. How's about a fucking break and enter at Christmas? How's that?
In the wrong house.
How's a break and enter at Christmas sound?
Mate, we go the second week in October all the way through to April. So,
Yeah, season's about to kick off. Ooh,
yeah, you can have your 2 weeks.
street
bro.
driving.
Even when we don't have anything, we'll find a video from 6 years ago and it'll get
There
leaked.
you go. Yeah, exactly. You want to see a video and an out of context blowjob? Here you go.
Want to see a naked bloke shadowboxing next to his mate? We'll give you that.
Yeah, we got you. No, we got you.
They've got it stockpiled, mate, and they just drip it. They just leak it out, video at a time.
But I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. I think it's good for the doggies. I think Ryan
Great
James,
for the doggies.
he was killing it at the start
That's
of the year.
what. Yeah, I
James.
was confused to see that as well. I was like, I thought he was on good term, like he was in favour at the Raiders. Has he not? I don't know. Did he get injured? Has he been out for a while? I don't know.
Maybe
I
he's
sort of
injured.
stopped paying attention to the Raiders a little bit when they just kept losing when I was
Well,
trying
you
to bet on them.
got Tarpanet and Papali'i that have been playing really well.
Soliola I saw on the bench this week.
I think he's been injured, and I think actually
Amre
Horsburgh
Gula.
got injured. Wasn't Horsburgh really upset? He got injured.
Is that this year or last year?
was
Last year. But he did fuck it. But no, but he has been injured all year.
Oh, okay.
Corey,
I
I'm
was
pretty
gonna
sure.
say, it's all bleeding together.
I know.
Fuck me dead.
Lockdown's rough.
So I like it. I think it's good for the doggies because
Did they have injuries or is it just like we're fucked?
Hetherington, Thompson's out, so two of their big dogs, and Napa is out, the big dog. the big fella. Imagine
Friend of
Dylan.
the show.
Imagine Dylan Napa on League Island. Fuck.
That's who you want.
Oh, fuck.
When you talk about like you know like who's getting paid big bucks on League Island, I'm paying Naps.
He's marquee signing.
Yeah,
when it comes to
Well,
League
that's the
Island.
thing. There would be you'd have two contracts. You'd have your NRL like playing contract, and then you'd have your off-season contract. And the more you rip, the more you tear. The
more you
the
get.
bigger the crowd you draw, the more money you make.
Now, on to hot boy Connor Watson. Apparently, only reportedly, calling around other NRL clubs looking for a gig. His contract ends this season. It says that the reports have said that Knights have offered him something, but I think their assumption is that it's too low at the moment for Connor Watson. Thoughts on where Connor Watson could or should land?
He's been playing really well this year, so like I don't
get it.
I don't understand why. What like the Knights
Didn't they sign? Help me out.
gay guy?
No.
Dan Gagai.
Who the Knights signed the back rower,
Tyson Frizzell.
and apparently he was linked to like the dad's sponsorship.
Oh, Fitzgibbon.
Like, surely Watson gets signed before Fitzgibbon.
I can't. He's been one of their best forwards.
Yeah, he's
What I don't get it. He's their best fucking. He's
like
consistently.
24.
He's consistently.
He's only 24.
He's 24, hot boy.
Jesus Christ, a whole life in front of
He's
him.
consistently in the top 3 best players every week. I think.
And-
I'm a little bit biased, but like he, to my eye, rips and fucking tears every week.
Absolutely.
Half the time he's starting off the bench, which I'd never understand, and he comes on and makes a fucking difference every time.
What I'm not getting is he is literally the perfect 13 for today's game. He can ball play really well. He rips and tears, heaps of tackle breaks. He's like like a version-ish of Cheese. Not as big as Cheese, but he's probably got maybe better ball playing out wide than Cheese. I don't get it.
He's seriously versatile as well.
Fucking oath.
Yeah.
And, like every game that he's played, he impacts it. Like there's never a game where you go, oh, did Connor Watson play?
Yeah,
Did
Connor was
game
quiet.
you
No,
watch,
he's
you-
always there.
You're like, oh, fuck, there he is, ripping and tearing, hot as fuck.
Hot as fuck.
Now, maybe it's because he's hot as fuck, but it's
Do you think that maybe he's fallen? Is he guilty of being too hot in this situation? Adam O'Brien, not exactly, a looker.
Yeah.
Is he maybe jealous of Connor's looks?
Mate, what else is it?
Yeah, can't be form.
It can't be form.
What else is it? You tell me what it is. Also, he's best mates with one Kalen Ponga,
Yep.
who you'd be wanting to like butter up.
Yep.
And yeah, that might sound like a small little thing to like fucking sign your best mate to help him stay around. But
Yeah.
like,
When the best mate's
if
also
I'm,
a
how
good
old's
player.
Kalen? Fucking 22, 23?
About 23, yeah.
At that age, I want a good mate around who I can fucking rip and tear with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would weigh into my decision, even if it's only like a small
Yeah.
percentage.
And they live together as well. Like they're like best mates.
They've got the whole podcast.
And he's
shit.
fucking good.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I do not get it. So I
Is
think it'd
that
be a good
could that be?
I
What
like
do you
the
reckon he's?
Broncos.
What do you reckon he's
Is
worth?
that his manager? Is that his manager saying that though? That he's calling around NRL clubs? Does that like in terms of the manager? You said before, like if shit like this leaks, it's usually like it's leaked for a reason. Either the club leaks it or the manager leaks it. But to see him, like for it to leak that he's actually calling coaches.
I don't think he has a
himself.
manager.
Oh, he doesn't have a manager.
Yeah, I think he does his. Is that correct? Can you please Google it? I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a manager.
Oh,
And so, like,
He's on the blower himself.
yeah, he's on the
Respect
blower himself.
that.
I'm pretty sure.
Good
Oh,
for
yeah.
him.
Oh, fucking oath. A young
Respect
hot boy
that.
like that, just on
Yeah.
a blower. Just saying-
He'd work a blower too. Fuck, he'd work a blower.
He loves a chat. I'll tell you that.
Yeah?
he loves a chat. You give him. Sometimes he'll just call me randomly. He just wants a yarn.
just wants a yarn.
And he said, "Look, you got a fucking footy team I can play for." I said, "No, but you're hot, and I'll find a way." What do you got there, mate?
They're saying this is just reports, but it's saying that he's personally called rival coaches.
Yeah, so it's either other teams have got to the journos and said, "Oh, Connor Watson, the hot boy's been calling me. I thought he was calling for a late night date, but it was actually to play a bit of footy." So I doubt it's Connor Watson being this mastermind, ratcheting up pressure.
Yeah, well,
to
none of
nine.
his. He doesn't
No,
have
I
a
don't
fucking
think so.
manager. No,
I think it's
it's just legit. He's just going.
yeah,
fuck
it's
it.
legit, and also clearly they're not offering that much. I reckon he's probably worth 300 to 400. Yeah, fair. Definitely 3 to 4. He can be a backup 6 if you need him.
Yeah.
I reckon about there would be a.
3 would be lower end, I would have thought. Like, again, only because he's got versatility and he's playing well. Like, he's in form.
I think a lot of people's idea of contracts has been muddied by the reports that you see. It's
Yeah.
always more than what it actually is.
As in,
never.
it's always
The reports are
reported-
always higher.
always higher.
Right, right.
When I was playing, it was never accurate. Like
Right.
ever fucking accurate. So, and as a report, what are you going to do? You're going to report the accurate number or the highest possible number?
Well, you're going to sound the number that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so they just say anything. So, like, I think people have been a bit disillusioned by players' values. Oh, maybe he's worth 500K, but it's like, fuck, like, Burton, like, he's got offered 500K and he's the next big thing, and he's a half.
What did Nicoll get at the Sharks?
Well, apparently around the 600K.
Fuck, I reckon that's a steal.
I think it's a steal too. But in saying that, it's also probably value. He's only had one good year.
Yeah.
But I like what I see, Dennis.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But he's only had one good year at the best team.
Yeah.
So it's like, mate, I don't think he'd be going, fuck, I wish I could get more. He'd be going, thank you.
I think he's worth 300. And if I was a club, I'd
you take 600 and you run.
Yeah, you'd take 3. You'd offer him 300.
No, I'd offer him 300. That's what he's worth.
Fucking Broncos.
That's all he's worth, 300. If I'm wooden spoon club and I'm struggling, I don't have a fullback and be trying to get a fullback for the last few years, 300K.
Yeah, definitely.
Now he's the best fullback in the comp pretty much right now, outside Tom Trbojevic, at one of the best clubs we've ever seen.
Also hot.
Hot as fuck. But 300.
Hair always wet,
Hair
which is
constantly wet.
the only positive points.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
Because like when you run and your body heats up, it would dry your hair.
It's
How
not,
does it stay
it
wet?
doesn't make sense.
He may put in a product that makes the hair appear to be wet.
Potentially.
Some sort of mousse.
Is that a bit of
some
a
sort of a
throwback
gel.
though? Like I feel like that
Brill
kind of
cream.
went out of fashion, and he's kind of bringing it back a little bit. The wet hair look.
Yeah, the wet hair look hasn't been with us for a while.
It's WWF. All the wrestlers with their wet hair, so it flips
Yep.
around. It's sort of a bit more pageantry when you're playing the game.
He definitely.
Well, you know what? Pomp and pageantry got him 600K. He might argue, shit, mate, with that wet hair, I'll probably get 300, 350.
So you reckon it was the wet hair gliding in the wind that really got the Sharkies across the line?
Well, as Tom said, it's all pageantry. Turns fucking heads, doesn't it?
It does. It's
It does
eyeballs.
turn heads.
It gets eyeballs.
I tell you what.
Maybe that's what the Broncos were arguing around the table. Take away his wet hair and he's worth 300.
Yeah, they actually said to him, mate, shave your head. You're worth 300.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we give you a blow dryer. That's 300 grand off your fucking ass.
Mate, we've been fooled by wet hair before, mate. We're not again.
It can trick your wet hair. I
Yeah.
tell you what, you can go from a slick-looking good bloke to fucking look at this bloke. He's messy. His hair's all fucking. It's all frizzly.
Yeah,
You know what I
frizzly
mean?
and puffy and
Mate, if it was dry and bird's nesty, you'd be like, bruh.
Maybe he rocked up and he forgot to put in his fucking wet hair, and that's why they said, "Oh, you're only worth 300K."
mate. Come on, bro. You ain't worth 600.
Yeah, like you're not as impressive in person.
You're way hotter in your photos.
Yeah.
You reckon that's what Broncos recruitment team does? They go through Instagram and that's how they recruit?
Wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me one bit.
Yeah. Like they thought they're fucking buying some 6'6" Adonis and
It's all photo. He's like shoulders are like Photoshop real wide. He rocks up. He's 5'11", fucking frazzled hair.
Hair looks dry to me, bro.
So yeah, Connor Watson. I think even if the Broncos had a crack at him, I would not be mad at that. Even if you keep him at a 14, look what Harry Grant's doing off the bench.
I know.
You know, he's fucking ripping and a tearing.
He is ripping.
they're almost reimagining that role a little bit, you know, just to have a fucking elite alpha on the bench in 14 to come on and rip and tear, especially in the modern game where it's so quick and like you can make a big
100%.
difference.
And like Connor suits that to a T.
Yeah.
So very surprising that the Sharky.
Where do you think you'll land, bias aside?
Well, I think he has a relationship with Craig Fitzgibbon. I could be wrong. He may have been at the Roosters before Craig Fitzgibbon. So there is word of a reunion with him. What's that, Matt?
Danny Widler's saying Roosters.
Back at the Roosters.
Yeah.
Ooh, fuck! Wouldn't that be a win for him though? Like, it'd go, oh, okay, fine, Knights.
Yeah,
See ya.
see ya.
I'm just gonna go to the Roosters, back to Bondi.
Widler's quote was that he's going to meet with Trent Robinson in coming days.
See, that's interesting because like he got along well with the Roosters, but you would say that like Lachlan Lamb, Drew Hutchinson, like they have a lot of 14 potentials, you know. So it'd be interesting to see because he wouldn't start. No way he would start.
Maybe they're thinking about shifting a couple.
Yeah, maybe. But for that, yeah, it's interesting. I reckon he might end up at Sharkies.
But isn't Sharky's 13 is McInnes, so he'd still probably be benched.
Yes, yeah, he could be, but like that team, he could fight his way into like even a 6 role. You know what I mean? Or he could.
Isn't that where they think Hines is going to play
yeah,
a 6?
I understand that.
Yeah,
I just think that like it's a less settled roster.
Yeah.
He may fight his way into a centre position. You know, I'm not sure, or even a fucking back row or a 9. He could rotate with Brayley.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But I think he has a relationship with Craig Fitzgibbon. So, but fuck, if I'm Knights, who have they got that's going to replace a guy like Watson?
Yeah, the Knights are almost like
There's some weird decisions.
the Knights think they're hotter than they are, and it's like you're not hot enough to be throwing away this sort of shit.
You lose Kalen Ponga, and you're fighting for the fucking spoon every year.
Yeah, you
It's
aren't
as simple
hot
as that.
enough to be.
That's so
to
true.
be
Like you're a
turning your back
Ponga
on
away
a
from
hot-
the spoon. Don't pretend like you're in a different position than you are.
No,
It's like the Bulldogs are making fucking like they'll be sharper next year for sure with the buys they've made. Like.
Man, it's going to be next contract negotiation with Ponga is like so crucial for the Knights. Holy
But if you're
fuck.
Ponga and they're shifted, like he's my mate, but he's
Yeah.
fucking good, and you're pissing him off. I'm starting to think,
what's going on?
okay,
here?
was at a certain point in time, not to put words in Connor's mouth or Kalen's mouth, but like surely he's thinking success, glory,
Yeah,
you know, lifting the
Wouldn't mind winning
trophy.
something.
Wouldn't mind winning a comp, and if you're going to start taking away my prize bulls, my stallions, maybe I'll look elsewhere.
All Blacks and All Blacks come knocking.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah, interesting. I'm not sure what's going on there. Croft joined Salford. Milford now gone.
You Devo?
Yeah, tough for Croft. Do you think he heard our crumpets chat last week?
I mean, listen, I think there's no way that he hasn't signed with Salford like for anything other than the crumpets chat. That's the only reason he's going. I don't know whether he was aware of European crumpets, med crumpets. Is that what, you know what I mean?
Is that what we landed on?
Crumpets in the med, I think.
Well, we just said that crumpets can be enjoyed in the med,
Yeah.
and they're particularly delicious
With a bit of honey.
with a bit of honey.
Yeah.
Are they nutritious? I don't know.
Listen, Salford,
Doesn't matter.
I don't know where I don't know what Salford is like as a place, but I'm sure as you
But it's
said,
on Crumpets' doorstep,
exactly. It's on the doorstep of crumpets.
and that's what matters.
That's what you need to turn your form around.
You know what I mean? You've got your crumpets are a stone throw away.
Listen, Man of Steel 2022 with a bag of crumpets. Then maybe another Man of Steel 2023. I don't know how long he's signed for, but then he comes back into the NRL and maybe just goes to the Dogs or something.
How serious is the Super League? Like, can you rip and tear on a Saturday and then go and enjoy crumpets for 3 days and come back?
The best can.
I think you can.
The best. But I think like there's a top four that's like, maybe, NRL-ish quality, top four.
Wigan.
And then after that, it's like the drop-off
At
is quite
all.
substantial. And I'm sure there's some Super League fan
Leeds.
that's going to be like, no,
Oi, shut up, man.
It's a
It's
top
really
eight. Look,
good.
all I know is it's not as good as NRL. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm not having a crack at it. It's just not the same standard as NRL.
It's sort of like Toyota Cup.
I'm not,
Is that what you're saying?
no, not saying
That's
that.
not what you're saying.
Now, on
SG Ball.
SG Ball.
Harold Matts.
Yeah.
No.
Because, I mean, like, and this is no disrespect to Jackson Hastings. Couldn't even make the NRL, and he's winning Man of Steels.
Yeah, but I think
I'm
that was
just
more
saying.
his attitude,
Well, I mean, fuck it.
And he's coming back to NRL.
I know.
Great Tigers.
Yeah.
Watch this space.
Keep your
That's
eyes
what I'd
peeled.
say. Yeah, keep your eyes
Keep
peeled.
your eyes peeled. Peel those eyes.
I want to know what the fuck that means. It's been on my mind all podcast.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
Peel your eyes. Like, if you're peeling them, then they don't close.
But like, how does that begin then? You know what I mean? Like, who was like, oh, I'm going to peel my eyes? It doesn't seem like something that we
I
touch
reckon
on.
it's something else.
Yeah, I reckon it's so. Matt, could you please Google that?
what the fuck else would it be?
Keep your eyes peeled to what we're saying and then follow it up as it's happening. Now, the great, the one, the only Buzz Rothfield, he has come out and has made the claim. This is about Will Chambers, the great Will Chambers of spraying blokes fame regardless of the score. Now, Buzz Rothfield has come out and said about Will Chambers. He's 33. He wants to play on next year, but this is not Craig Fitzgibbon style, this sort of language. Language, it sounds like an old person.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
swear.
Buzz wouldn't like us.
But yeah, he washed his mouth out with soap.
He doesn't like it or coach it. From what they are telling me at Cronulla, it is not helping Chambers get a contract next year. I think he'll finish up in a month's time. Buzz Rothfield also said there's an issue between Chambers and Fafita. Ronaldo Mulatalo tweeted in response, Buzz must be in the bubble with us. He knows us more than us. Slow day at the office. Now, what was he going to say, Matt?
So there's actually two. I've looked on two websites and both have said this. So one is right, like the keep your eyes peeled. But the other meaning is like to remove or strip the weakened sense of like a fruit, like remove the dead skin, and keep it like strong.
Strong. I think that makes more sense than the like pull your eyes back.
Really?
Yeah.
So you reckon removing
because,
the dead skin from your eyes to keep them strong?
Well, but like people would have been dealing with fruit for hundreds of thousands of years. So there's like a reason for them to be discussing like that's the, remove the, and that's the strong thing. You know what I mean? Whereas like peel your eyes, like fuck.
But the whole thing is like, you've got to be on the lookout for this thing. Keep your eyes peeled. So it's like, have the fucking eyes.
But keep your eyes peeled. What do you peel?
So, okay,
you know
so
what
you're
I mean?
saying like keep them as the strongest part of the eye.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Like keep your eyes peeled.
I
That
hear
means,
what
like,
you're saying. I
Like-
do hear it, but
The thing that has thrown me more than anything is that I liked your version, but then I thought to myself, if I did that with my eyes, would I be peeling them?
Yeah.
Didn't seem
I
to
don't mean
like.
it's like, you mean like folding the lids back?
Yeah.
I don't think it's saying keep your eyelids folded. Like it's just more like, it's a saying, right? So it doesn't have to be literal.
But I'm not going to peel my eyelids off either.
No, it's a saying. So you
No,
won't be
but-
doing it.
Okay, like let's say we're
But
all
if you win hands down, that's literal.
let's say we're all hunter gatherers.
Yeah, but I mean, sure, some are literal, some aren't.
We're all hunter gatherers, and it's a good thing to keep our fruit peeled. Like as in, like we're all sitting around, we peel our fruit. So I can see how that can get to the
But
point
I also
where,
don't know.
Yeah,
what,
but also unpeeled fruit doesn't last long. Oh, peeled,
peeled fruit doesn't last long.
Yeah, but like,
Once you peel it, you got to eat it. You can't store
Yeah, but it's in
unpeeled.
that
You can't
fresh, best
store
state.
peeled fruit.
No.
but it's in that fresh, best state when you peel it. You know what I mean?
I like fucking the skin on an apple.
Yeah, it is interesting. I just don't know how. I don't know how that like was someone sitting there going like, oh, your eyes look
Basically,
peeled, bro.
okay. Basically, what they're saying is when your eyelids are closed, the peel is on.
Yes.
And when your eyelids are open, the peel has been removed as if the eyeball is a piece of fruit.
Boom.
Boom.
There it is.
Yeah, but that's essentially what I'm saying. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled.
Hey, look, you come here for deep chat.
I'm
and that
glad
was-
we solved that.
solved the
I
mystery.
feel like that's solved.
I
feel
guess
like
it
it's
is.
solved.
As long as I'm right, then I think it's solved it.
Well, let us know in the comment section. Has that just been solved officially? Come to the source of keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
Or is there another definition that's been passed down in your family from generation to generation that we don't know about? Maybe your family started the same. We do not know. But
Officially solved.
now back to so basically Mulatalo has come out and said, wow, that's 100% not true, Buzz Rothfield. What is also interesting is who would get on the phone to Buzz Rothfield and go, yeah, we're not happy with Will Chambers and he's also probably not going to be here next year because he keeps saying foul language.
Look, I don't know, but doesn't that shit also happen in rugby league?
Well, not
In the
like-
sense of like with the Raiders, right? Obviously, we know who the
but
Raiders
he's not
were
he's
talking
not a
to.
big player. Like if they don't re-sign him, no one gives a like he's not.
Yeah, but like
It's not a tension situation where they're worried about not keeping or keeping. If Sharks just go, oh yeah, sorry, you're not going to be our plans next year, there's no reason. What do the Sharks get from telling Buzz Rothfield that?
But it's not that they necessarily would be like
But you
don't
could.
you have ins at clubs, journos? Like don't some people tell
Buzz,
journos
like
shit?
Ronaldo's literally come out and said it's nonsense.
But what I'm saying
Sure.
is if. What I think Tom's saying is if Buzz has got a connection at the club, which I'm sure he does, and
also
he's
a
like,
Sharks fan.
and he's like, what's been happening today? And he's like, maybe it was just like a throwaway comment, like, fuck, this is all I've got for you.
See, I can see. This is what I think would have happened. Buzz Rothfield was speaking to his Sharks connection, and he would have been like, "Man, that Chambers, how non-professional is that?" And then probably what you said, the guy's gone, "Yeah, it's not a good look. We don't really, don't like it." But then he's taken that as if to say Sharks as a group have been like, "Oh, we fucking unhappy, and we're not
Yeah.
going to resign."
There's
him."
no doubt that what he said has been
Mayoed.
inflated and mayoed the fuck
Oh
out.
yeah, I mean,
Buzz loves Mayo.
Yeah.
fucking oath he loves.
He was
Mayo.
reared on Mayo. He's a Mayo man.
He went to rehab for Mayo.
He did.
But
He
he's
went
back on it. He was
yeah.
like, I'm a better
He went to
journo
the
on
Mayo clinic.
Yeah.
He wasn't the same man after he got off the Mayo and he got back on the Mayo.
No. He got off the Mayo and it was like, mate,
For-
my articles fell off a cliff. I had to get back on the Mayo.
I mean,
Do you reckon that
he had Mayo running through the arteries for a point.
Yeah. He's 98%.
You cut him
Mayo,
open and Mayo pour out.
which is gross.
Sometimes when he didn't have any mayo for his food, he would literally just
Disgusting.
cut himself. and
Yeah,
put
he would,
mayo
just
on.
like,
He's just like, oh fuck, I need a bit
responsibly
of. Oh, you need a bit of mayo, sweet.
He's got like one of those diabetic EpiPens. You just prick your finger and squeeze mayo out all over
Yeah,
his
he just put a
articles.
syringe in and just suck out the mayo.
Yeah.
Barbecue mayo sauce, sweet, no worries.
Look,
You have to
it's
swing.
disgusting. It's probably a little unnerving to people, but I mean,
It
you
is
come
what it
here
is.
for you come here for the truth,
Yeah.
and it is what it is.
Buzz Rothfield filled with mayo.
Do Do you reckon at the Daily Telegraph, when they saw that he got clean off Mayo, they started leaving Mayo around the joint to try and get him hooked again?
Yeah, absolutely. They had to. It was like the state of the future of the newspaper depends on it, Buzz.
Well, it's the worst kept secret in rugby league, is that Buzz has a Mayo problem.
It's an addiction, not a problem, an addiction, a full-blown addiction. He was called into Rupert Murdoch's office and he's like, Buzz, I'm going to need you to get back on the Mayo, dude. I'm sorry, but your articles aren't what they are. You're telling, you're not hyperbolic enough,
So like in the office kitchen, people would walk in and be like, "Oh, hope no one takes my Mayo."
Yeah, whoops.
And like Buzz is like, trying not to go and take the Mayo. Fuck.
Yeah, and you find him in the toilet with a spoon.
Just in the Mayo.
In a jar. One of those
with a
2
full
litre
jar.
jobs,
Yeah,
the ones you
know.
get from fucking Costco.
Yeah, those big motherfuckers.
Yeah, the big
No one
motherfuckers.
needs that much mayo unless you're an addict. And sadly, Buzz is addicted to mayo.
It's so big you got to remove shelves out of your fridge to fit it in.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, that's all you can fit is 1 jar of mayo in your fridge.
He just puts a hand in like that.
Yeah, he eats it by the handful.
Yeah.
He watches TV, Fox Sports obviously, and he just fucking
Scooping
late at
mayo.
night. He's just scooping
Yeah,
mayo when he's
or
Yeah.
a bath of mayo at the end of a long night. A
Mayo
glass
man.
of red and a bath of mayo.
Well, a glass of mayo and a bath of mayo. Putting mayo on stories. That's how he does it.
Yeah.
Now, what are your guys' thoughts on the sledging from the great Will Chambers? Obviously, our man, Kane Evans. You know, the funny thing, the first time I met Kane Evans was at just down the road at the gym, and he was speaking like an Eshe, and he was saying like words. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, because I'm not from Sydney.
Speaking in Pig Latin.
Like, yeah, he was like, he's
Shays,
like,
bro,
yeah, he's like,
yeah.
Eshe, this and that. I was like, I don't know what that means. But he's a legend.
I didn't know people just spoke like that in the wild. I thought it was more like if I'm around Eshays, it's like Shays, bro. I don't know, like if I'm gonna be an etch cunt.
No, he would literally, like, I would say something and he'd agree with it and he'd be like, Eshe. I don't know whether, like, did he ask me a question? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Wait, did that Eshay just ask me a question, or is it?
but Kane Evans is actually a fucking legend. He's so funny, such a good guy.
We were saying about Will Chambers. He's got to be one of the great nigglers of all time.
Oh,
Because he has an ability to niggle me through the telly.
Yeah.
Like, I get niggled by him. And he's not even trying to niggle me.
not even
Imagine if
saying
I was
anything.
on the field with him and he was trying
And
to
he
niggle
knew
me.
something like really personal and private about your life, and he just was like dropping them on you.
and put it this way, what he said last week was pretty clear, roughly what he said. He'll go there.
yeah, he'll go there.
He'll go.
He doesn't care
anywhere.
which, I mean, like it's on the footy field, whatever. I feel like if you say something in retaliation to an action, I get going there. Like if someone does something to you and you go there, I get it on a footy field. But if you're just like coming with like these preloaded fucking things, like really heinous
He's got on his
shit.
strapping tape and he's like,
Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, that's the guy who it is.
He's got one of those, like, quarterback things. You know what I mean? Like, they open up.
Sledging.
Yeah, like a sled. I don't know what
But
they're
he's
called.
like we were talking about this on the podcast, weren't we? About like his ability to identify the best person to sledge. It's like usually a bench player who's already feeling insecure about their place in the team.
maybe in and out of fucking first grade, who, you know, they
And
want
then
to.
someone with some sort of a history or some sort of a checkered past. And so you then form those two together. It's like insecure about place in the team, checkered past, and then just mercilessly troll them for it. And then you're going to get a reaction.
Mate, I think it's tough because, like, I think in the olden days you could be like, it's on the footy field, sort it out yourself. But the hard thing at the moment is that you can sledge as much as you want, and you can't really sort it.
You can't, exactly. You can't retaliate.
You can say whatever you want to me, and yes, I can sort it by putting a big shot on you, whatever. But I'm supposed to put a big shot on you, regardless of what you said.
Yeah.
But back in the day, and let me be really clear about this: Chambers, he'll get down and dirty. He loves a stink. Well, I don't know if he still does, but like I've been in a footy stink with him. New South Wales versus Queensland under-19s. He
really?
loves a stink.
I don't.
He doesn't mind a throw.
Just you know, casting
He'll
a quick
throw.
eye over him. It doesn't
You're in
look
the
like
same
he's
team,
lost it.
So at
Yeah,
least
yeah.
you weren't having to fight him.
No, yeah. So we were fighting New South Wales,
Yeah,
and he
right.
was
And
literally.
you got pumped?
No, we lost the game, but we won the fight.
Sure.
I mean, to be honest, isn't it? Like, fuck, a footy brawl, is there really any winners? Like, fuck, it's just
Sometimes.
Well, Paul Gallen comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean,
Battle of
I
Brookvale.
would have said
Battle of
probably Steve Price, unfortunately.
Yeah, he got
But
Justin
what do you
Joey
want?
Joey Johns got pumped.
Joey
in
did.
the cattle dog fight.
Yeah.
That's the
Who
worst
fed
one.
him?
Jamie Feeney? Jamie
Goddard worked the fuck out of
You know
him.
what's
Like
always-
he's the greatest player of all time.
Well, he
Because that
needed
was
like 8
that was
stitches in his
big.
mouth.
And he went for it too, which was the tough
Yeah,
thing.
he followed him up and just got
I
cracked.
know he
You know,
followed him.
fuck.
He's
Fair
probably
play to
thinking
him, though.
about the spray would have got from Rodonicus if he didn't have a
didn't get in
crack.
there.
But like, I don't know if two cleaner rugby league punches have ever been landed.
No, they were clean and they rocked him too. You'd see him walk off the field. He's a mess.
His jaw's hanging out. He can't. His jaw's
It shows
broken.
you how loved he is. That like most people are just like, oh yeah, sweet, whatever. You know what I mean? Like
That's what I'm saying. Lucky's
Yeah.
the GOAT. No one gives
Yeah.
a shit.
No one gives a fuck. And like,
Otherwise,
you know what's-
like Hodgson, he's not so lucky.
Yeah, you know, he got swung
You know
off
what
the
I mean?
fucking field.
I feel
Like if
what
Joey
the-
got swung off, you'd never see that footage.
No.
Yeah.
No one would play it again.
Matter of fact, like,
Like, oh, it was a fluke. Who cares?
if a young kid like was like trying to put it in the highlights package, he'd get fired on the spot.
Oh, 100%.
They'd be like, "Are you going to disrespect our fucking god like that?
Oh, I'm
Get the
sorry.
fuck out of here."
Get the fuck
But-
out.
but
We might
also-
whip you publicly.
yeah.
But also, if you're working in content for their NRL, surely you love your rugby league.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go there anyway.
No,
Yeah.
it's disrespectful.
It's
It's sacrilegious.
disgraceful.
Whereas
You know-
everyone loves a go-to of swinging Hodgson.
I feel sorry for him because like he actually there's nothing he could have done because
Well.
he had him backed by the jersey.
Been stronger. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, so he couldn't. It's not like the Joe situation. He could have chose not to fight him. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Was
Whereas, like,
Hodgson involved in Lockyer's try?
well, he threw the pass to
Yeah,
Lockie
yeah.
at the start
So
of the
do you
decade
think
of
that
dominance.
That's 100%.
Yeah, 100% it does.
100%.
Well,
That's why.
he
That's
was
why
such a
keeps.
gun.
That's why it keeps getting through the filtering process.
Yeah.
he was such
I'll
a
throw
gun.
that in.
He was a gun.
Do you
I
know
feel
he
sorry
had
for
one
him
of
as
the
well.
greatest debuts ever in Origin?
Did he?
Google Brett Hodgson debut. It's like fucking crazy debut.
We're not anti Brett Hodgson.
No.
We're just saying
Sounds
it
like
is.
you hate the
No. We're merely saying it is what it is.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get ragdolled by a rampaging bull in Gordy Tallis, you'd want to be a fucking god, and you're not. So, what do you want us to do?
What's crazy though is he had literally one of the greatest Origin debuts of all time, but that's what gets keep playing like.
Yeah, I've
he'd be
never
like,
heard of
"Fuck."
his Origin debut.
Listen,
Apparently, he ran 390 meters in his Origin debut.
yep,
Sheesh.
one of
Wow.
the greatest ever Origin debuts, and the only thing he gets remembered for is the fucking Raging Bulls hog
Swing.
fucking whipping him around.
Whipping
Yeah, he
him
had
into
line breaks, tackle breaks, try assists, and 390 meters.
And
Jesus.
how many try assists in that?
Oh, it doesn't say. It just says line breaks, tackle breaks, and try assists. He did it all.
Oh, thanks. What a great article.
I know. Fuck.
Line breaks, he did it all. But
You
we're not going
could
to tell
have
you what
just
he
got
did.
the numbers and put it in the article. You know what I mean? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
that's lazy journalism.
Yeah.
It's like the same with Jamie Soward. Everyone only remembers him from getting butched by Greg Inglis,
Oh,
but like
yeah.
he won a comp.
Yeah.
He was a gun.
He was a
He
gun.
was a good footy player. He's a great bloke too. Great
Yes,
bloke. I
yeah,
love
he
him.
phenomenal bloke.
Shout out to Sowie.
But you know what's always like? I don't know whether it's my bias that makes me feel this way, or I'm not sure how I feel about it. But I feel like Steve Price kind of got dogged because he got grabbed as he got hit from behind.
He wasn't hit from behind, was he?
No,
was
no.
hit
So he
fucking on
got
the
grabbed
jaw.
from behind as the punch landed.
Oh, so he couldn't.
And so if you watch it, you go like, oh, did he really get beaten one-on-one, or did he get grabbed and then dropped? And I feel like, is my bias saying that because he's a Queenslander? You know what I mean?
yeah, you know, your bias is definitely saying it because I mean, he was grabbed. It wasn't like his arms were held back.
What are you going to do?
Okay, so this article says 374 run meters, 6 line breaks, 14 tackle busts, a length of the field try, a try assist, and Andrew Johns got man of the match.
That reinforces what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Either you're a fucking goat or you're not.
Yeah, or you're getting slung into the stand.
And he gets slugged into the stead.
First player to do so. Like, you know, when they.
I went to
boot
Origin
comes off.
once with my mate Will, and Steve Price was sitting behind us. It was up at Suncorp, and it was when New South Wales fucking towed him up, and he couldn't have been a nicer bloke.
He seems like a
He
lovely
could,
guy.
Steve Price,
He's a legend.
couldn't have been a nicer bloke. Like, yarned to us the whole game.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Which
fucking
would have been the
unbelievable.
last thing he felt like doing.
No, he was, because he was sitting behind us. He
Hold
kept
on,
coming
here we
over
go.
the top
Steve
for yarn.
Price.
Here we go. Now tell me whether, and try to be as fair as you can.
Okay, so here we go.
Good to see New South Wales winning this one.
We probably lost.
Okay, so he misses a little bit. He should have just started throwing straight away.
Yeah.
Through the dummy, both basically missing. Got a good one there, Steve Price. That was a throw the replay, but
Yeah.
the
Was
problem
it Brett
is,
White?
I think it's
it is
Brett
Brett
White,
White.
but he's out. Now watch.
Yeah, he's out here.
Now watch from the back here.
Nah, he's
he was
out,
out
bro.
before,
Look at
he's
him.
out,
Watch
yeah.
this. He's out now, and then he comes in.
Okay, fair.
Done.
That's fair.
He actually nurtures him to the ground.
Is that is
Wow.
that Josh Perry, Manly player? Shout out. Yeah, no,
he
he's-
gets
I've never seen the slow-mo before, but you can see why, like, when it happens in fast motion, look, like,
bang.
Oh,
Oh, he's
he
out cold.
cracks him. Look at that. Bang!
across the thing.
On the jaw.
You never see him
son.
that pure.
That, yeah,
No.
they
Not
never
footy.
connect that well.
Never
no
that
way. But you can in fast. I've never seen it in slow motion like that. But in fast motion, you can understand why I was like, "Fuck, is it like because he got
what was
pulled from the
going on?
side?"
Yeah. But now you know.
Yeah.
He's such a nice guy. I went to Warriors when he was at the Warriors. I think his daughter is also plays for the Western Giants netball as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
She's a gun.
I saw that. Was she international netball? I feel like she
not
might
sure.
have played for because he was an Aussie, wasn't he? Yeah, he played
Yeah.
for Queensland, obviously. But then I feel like because they were living over in New Zealand, she might even play for New Zealand.
Really? Yeah, she's a legend. She follows Bloke in a bar. I think we sent her some kit and that, so I'm not sure. I hope it got there. But yeah, he was such a nice guy. Him and Tatey was so good when I went over there. Too bad I played like shit, let him down.
That's all right.
But yeah,
Nah,
I
it's
mean,
cool.
look,
Dude.
it is what it is.
Fine, man. It's in the past.
So Chambers, sledging. Is it okay? Is it not okay? Is there a line? Is there not a line?
There's obviously a line.
There's got to be a line.
I think
There's
line-
always been a line. If it's just niggle, like just fucking badgering some
rubbing their
bloke
hand in the face
and
sort of
just
stuff.
talking shit.
I think the line is anyone that's not a player or a part of it shouldn't be brought into it.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And I've always never understood people that
It would be a weird stitch being like, geez, your mate's a fucking bit of a fat loser, isn't he? You'd be like, sweet, bro. You don't really care as much. Yeah. But I reckon if you're just niggling some bloke and he bites and fucking
That's
stiff
fine,
shit.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. If it's just like niggle and that,
But it's clearly not with him, right? He's
it's clearly not.
Like,
It's
I don't know
clearly
what he
not.
said with this most recent one.
but you
like,
could tell what he said the last one,
yeah.
which was like,
Well, NRL 360
whoa.
basically fucking spoke it out for us.
Yeah,
after the game.
they literally like, look,
They were
I'm
like,
not
what happens on the field stays on the field, but this is what he said. I
Yeah,
was
this is
like,
exactly what he said. Even though
Okay.
we can't be 100% sure, this is what he
we're
said.
prepared to speculate.
yeah.
And this is what it looks
But
like.
make sure you preempt it with what happens on the field stays on the field, because that's like, it's almost like a legally binding
Well, it's like
saying.
us saying, do your own research, but this is what we think might
Or
be
we don't know
true.
what we're talking about, but I have these opinions and they're very strong.
Now, do you think that they need to introduce a rule? I think NFL does it. Unsportsmanlike conduct. So the ref can go, mate, like you just said, such and such misses X, blah, blah. See you later.
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Yeah,
Like,
I wouldn't want them
It's hard
to
to
take
judge,
it
though.
too far, though. Like in
No.
the NFL, you can't over-celebrate and shit, which
That's
I think's
ridiculous.
too
Yeah,
much.
But that's the problem, though. It's like, okay, then
Where do you draw the line?
Where do you draw the
Yeah,
line?
yeah.
abuse. Just like abusing someone.
Yeah, but then you could say, oh, but I felt like he was attacking. You know what I mean? It's a
Well,
fucking-
it does become like, you know,
Yeah.
oh, I'm fucking hurt. I need a safe space. Rugby league's not a safe space.
Yeah,
But
but like,
like-
for example, okay, I get injured, and then he's in my face, and I'm on the ground all fucked up, and he's like, fuck, yeah, rah, rah. Is that a send off? That's pretty fucked up. Like, it just did me fucking
It
knee.
is, but I don't think that's fucked up because
Yeah.
it's kind of like, yeah, it's in the battle.
Pretty like, okay, I do my
it's
ACL.
hot blood. He doesn't know you've done your ACL. Like, do you
Yeah.
know you could make a mistake where if you're getting it over an opposition and
like when
that
Jai Arrow
happens-
picked up
Yeah.
Teddy, didn't he? Didn't he when he in
So he
Origin?
picked him up, and then he was immediately when he realised he was
Right.
knocked out. Was
You know what
like,
I mean?
fuck.
But,
But
like-
even then, they still hate. Like, he
I
was
know.
still
I don't know
copping
why
flack
the
for
But
that.
that's
he's
wrong.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
he shouldn't have
because
copped flack
that's
for
not a
that.
bad thing he did.
But the problem is, there's a lot of fans that don't give a fuck. Like, they're like, nah, 100%. I don't care that I saw that he was like, okay. A lot of fans are like, nah, fuck him. He's a
But
grub.
what are you gonna, you can't do anything about that.
Dribblers are dribblers.
But
you know?
but even like you could tell the Roosters boys had an issue with it.
I know.
You know. So what I'm saying is like that could spill onto the rule making of the. You know.
I would hate to see the niggle leave the game.
Oh,
personally,
I'm
I
with
think the
you.
niggle's got a special place. Like, you know, to fucking parlay it into cricket. If they got rid of sledging, I'd be like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Oh, I
part of
agree.
the fabric of the game. It's something that I personally enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think that if you brought in a sportsmanship rule, like you're suggesting, it would eventually see the end of the niggle.
That's what I'm saying.
I think.
Yeah. Well,
That's
maybe
what
you
I'm
just
saying,
can
the
warn
concern.
the players and just be like, hey, listen, Will Chambers. Like, there's probably a few that do it more. Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's something that it's like it'll be followed up on, or like, you know, if there's the player can report it. Maybe it's not something on the field that happens.
That's my concern is if you're bringing a sportsmanlike conduct, it eventually, because everyone knows we're getting softer and softer. Like we
Yes,
just are.
we are.
And so eventually it's going to do what NFL did. You can't celebrate too much. And it's like, fuck, are you serious?
I know what you mean.
Because you're rubbing their face. And
Yeah,
it's like,
oh, and
Jesus
I'm mentally
Christ, where are we
so-
at now?
Yeah,
You're actually starting to make me think, just fuck it, just play on. Don't be an asshole. Just try not to be an
Mate,
asshole.
it's not a common problem.
Yeah.
First
No.
and foremost, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, if Will goes over the line every now and then, like,
He's
if
just done
that's
it 2 weeks in a row.
you almost just wear that for the fucking greater good of niggle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the greater good of Nicoll. Sometimes you've got to be the sacrifice at the greater good of the Nicoll.
Yeah.
What is interesting though, not interesting, but you can't tell. Like that was a game that was tough to watch because the quality wasn't that high. As soon as that happened, I was like, I'm counting down the seconds till Kane Evans comes back on. It adds so much. Again, I know it sucks when you're the player hearing this fuck shit about your family. Like, I'm not saying like, how good's that? He fucking said this about you. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is definitely adds theatre to the game. Look
100%.
at Michael Innes with the fucking shark clap. We still talk about it.
You know how you can't punch on anymore. We all acknowledge that. Maybe when like in situations like this, the ref has the ability to be like, okay, you have to run it in then.
I'd like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
You go, so
take
Will,
the tap.
come over here, mate. You got to fucking take the tap. You were a lippy as fuck. You know you were. Go over here and tap it
then
and
it's
run.
like just a one-off.
And then Kane, it's just a one-off. And everyone
it
just
straight.
like it's an unwritten rule where it's like, okay, Kane's fucking doing the snapping here.
Yeah. It's like ice hockey when the refs just stand back and let them biff.
Yeah, but it's a
like,
little
we're
bit
not
more
punching.
subtle.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
I like that.
I actually really like that. Could you imagine
The run it rule.
The run it straight rule.
The run
Let's
it
go,
straight
all
rule.
bro.
Wow, the run it rule. That could work. Because a lot of people are like, you know what, I'm not getting lippy because I'm getting snapped.
I'm going to get snapped in half.
And the worst thing is if you step them, you're even
You're a
more.
pussy.
No, because everyone knows that.
Yeah,
you
then
have
you're-
to run
you're
it
a cat.
straight. You
Oh.
have to.
That, you know how fucking good that would be to watch?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Imagine the highlight reel of that.
It'd be sick.
Just like at the end of the season, all the run it straights that year.
Oh, that would be before the grand final.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you call out a guy, fucking, I want him to run at me,
Yeah.
and you get run over the top of,
Fuck,
then
that's
you look
it
like
as well. You get blitzed as well.
He's got you twice.
Yeah, you fucking
Yeah.
could
You
you
know what I
imagine? You're being lippy and then you steamroll him. You may as well scoop his missus up and run out of the stadium. Fucking hell.
Oh, good lord.
Oh,
I like
fuck.
that, Eddie.
I like that's a great rule. We'll put that on the agenda with League Island.
Yep.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
equal priority. Now, Crichton suspended for 3 weeks. Hargreaves being rested. So Crichton with the crusher tackle. Now I've seen this, and when I first watched it, I was like, "Am I watching the wrong fucking clip? Am I watching the wrong clip?" Because have you watched the clip?
I missed it.
3 weeks. It happened fucking so fast. Like,
I was going to ask this because friend of the show, Christian Welch, had a moment in the Manly game as well. Where is it a player's playing for crushers?
Absolutely.
Like they're running, they're turning their back, they're dropping down, and it's almost like they're trying to drop down quickly as well, so that the defenders are almost crushing, doing.
But
the
like
crushing
they're not carrying them to the
No,
ground.
they're not carrying to the ground,
Yeah.
right? So the player drops quickly, but
Yeah.
they're holding him up and they're sort of falling over the top. But it's like, it seems like the crusher, and again, the Storm love to do it, but it's not actually happening.
I don't think they're physically playing for it like that, but I do think as soon as they feel any pressure, they just go like that. And they
Right,
go
so you don't think they're playing for it as in get myself into a crusher position
I
and
don't
let
think
him crush
so,
me?
no, because that's so fucking dangerous. Like, why? If this isn't the right clip, why is it at the top of the article?
This happens all the time,
happens
dude.
all the
It's the
time.
most infuriating thing.
It
and not
happens-
just not at the top of the article, Dan. It's not anywhere in the article. There is no video footage.
No, that's it.
That's the whole thing.
That's the video. It's not like,
Fuck me dead, honestly.
surely the NRL gets it
yeah,
right.
his head's strapped here. This will be it. Liam Martin, 16.
Someone's getting whipped for that last fuck up, surely.
This is mine as well.
Hopefully.
You'd like to think so.
3 weeks for that.
That's not right.
That's unfair.
3 weeks for that.
That's unfair.
Look how quick it happened.
What's he supposed to do?
It's not even him as well. It's Drew.
Has he got prize? Is it?
I mean,
But how's he supposed to reposition there? That would be my question, because he drops to his knees.
And the position they get into is partially the attacking player's fault because he's moving around.
What's he supposed to do here?
He ducks his head.
And he ducks
spins,
his head.
And then he
that's what I mean.
swings over the back of him anyway.
3 weeks.
Mate, it's fucked up.
It's just honestly, as I said, I truly thought I was watching the wrong clip. Like I was like, oh no, that's not it. That's not it.
That's crazy, man.
3 weeks. That's what's frustrating.
How does I'm surprised that at the judiciary, the lawyers couldn't be like, mate.
I don't know.
Surely there's
it's
no
all done,
intent there.
correct?
Yeah, they accepted early, but if he went and fought it and lost, he would have got 4 weeks.
So he went early.
He went early.
Oh, so he didn't even go to...
He would have got 5 weeks?
4 weeks.
4 weeks. So they would have told him behind the scenes, mate, you're going to fight it. We're going to fucking sting you for it. They would have spoken to him.
Really?
As if you're not fighting that.
I know, but why the
that's...
fuck?
I find it strange. That's what I'm saying. I find it strange
Don't
he
they just
hasn't.
get a lawyer? They get bloody...
But that's what I'm saying is MRC
Don't they use
would have
judiciary
probably
lawyers?
spoken to the Roosters and gone, I'm telling you, bro, you're going to get stung. So don't do it. You know what I mean?
Why would they do that? Is that even allowed?
Yeah, I thought that...
Wouldn't you be going, fuck you? That's not even a week.
But it's like wild.
Who do you have to convince?
So there's ex-players, but the problem is that the higher
Surely
ups,
the ex-players...
they do, but the higher ups say we're going hard on crushers. So it's the higher ups tell them you have to go hard on it. Do you know what I mean? And if they go, well, no, I disagree, then it's like, all right, well, you lose your fucking...
We'll replace you.
I'm assuming that happens. I don't know for sure. I've got no evidence. But, how an ex-NRL player, any ex-NRL player could look at that and say 3 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
Because, what's Liam Martin ducks as well.
Yeah.
It just makes no... And also, so
That's a shocker.
He gets tackled. He gets up. Liam Martin doesn't go off after that, correct? So there's
Liam
no
was fine.
Yeah, there's no long-term... he didn't get taken off the field. He's not injured for next week. He's totally fine. It's clearly a situation where it happened just like that, literally at 1 second, and he's going to miss 3. I just don't get how we can have such poor officiating sometimes. And I know it's a hard job. I know it's the higher ups that are telling these guys. I totally get that. I've spoken to some of the people in the system. They get told from the higher ups, you need to start cracking down on X, Y, and Z. So
in your opinion, though, you look at that, and I'm just trying to think about how the NRL would be seeing this. They're obviously we want to eliminate crushers completely from the game, so we want to go hard when even something like that happens. Is Angus Crichton in a position there where he could have changed what he did to avoid it? If the outcome they're looking for is none of that, you have to go by extension down a route of, Angus needs to make better decisions. It doesn't seem to me like he's in a position
There's
to
nothing
fucking...
he could have done differently. And
where he's like, well, I'm doing a crush on... You know what I mean?
Less than a second.
Mate,
that it takes that whole...
wouldn't even be
thing to
half
happen.
of a... It would be...
There's
couple of
got to be
tenths.
more to it. There's got to be something So there's no carryovers, Matt.
15 carryovers, but that's all he had.
So 15 carryover points, which equates to what?
3 weeks. He would have got... It was grade 3, 300 points. So he would have got 300.
So he had 15 points, but he got graded 300.
Yeah.
So that was a relevant amount of number that he had carryover points. It's not like he had 200 carryover points and it was graded as 100.
He might have been able to, with an early play, get 2 weeks if he had 0.
Yeah.
But he's still got a grade 3 crusher.
Grade 3?
I watched. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me.
No.
There's got to be something going on there. I don't.
This is the sort of shit I'd like explained.
Yeah.
As a fan,
Don't they does
where they come out and not just the same, we want to eliminate crushers. I'm like, yeah, I fucking get that.
Yeah.
That's fine. I understand that. Everyone understands that we need to protect the neck. That's not up for dispute.
Yep.
What we want to get our head around is what the fuck is he supposed to do there?
Yeah. Especially when Liam Martin ducks. He ducks like that.
and then spins around, and so it's he gets himself into the crusher position.
Has the Roosters said anything, Matt? Has Angus, has the MRC, have they said anything?
Nah, the Roosters just released a statement saying that Egan Butcher's going to cop a fine and Angus Crichton's going to cop the early play. That's it.
So they must have been told. How do you not fight that? Do you know what I mean? It's mind blowing because I'm with you guys as well. If I'm Roosters,
Well, how many
I'm
more
fighting
rounds have
that.
we got? 4. Maybe they want. I don't know. Maybe they're looking to the finals footy. I don't know. Is that are they going the risk? We'd rather him come back for a freshen up before finals as opposed to come first week into finals. I don't know.
But you're fighting that every day of the week.
I'd
aren't you?
fucking fight the
Yeah, you
shit
fight
out of
that,
that
'cause it's just
I'd get
bullshit.
the
But-
best judiciary lawyer. I don't know if there is. Is there is there a guy that's the
The dude
best?
that got Billy Slater off before the grand final for that shoulder charge. What's
Do you
his
reckon he
fucking name?
Do you reckon he literally has on his fucking CV got Slater off the shoulder
Yeah,
charge?
got Slater off the shoulder charge, which was a blatant
Well, Isaac
shoulder
Luke didn't fucking get the memo.
No, well, I mean, there's a few. I always find that the biggest travesty.
There shouldn't be a match review committee.
You shouldn't be suspended
going
from
into the
a
grand final.
You should.
It
have
should
to
go
kill
round
someone.
to. It should go to
Next
round one
season.
the next
You
season.
should have to nearly kill someone.
When Cam
to lose this
Smith
grand
got
final.
as well, like even it's it's Isaac Luke, but like the whole thing of going like you've worked your entire life from like a young child to get to a point to achieve a dream, and then on something like, oh, sorry, it was a grade 2 chicken wing tackle, so you're just going to have that. Isaac Luke missed out on the South's grand final
crazy.
and never made a grand final again.
Crazy.
Like never made one again.
And like even though he fucking won the comp with the Rabbitohs, he didn't
play in the
win.
grand
He didn't
final.
play in a grand final that he won.
No.
You robbed him of that moment, of that feeling.
What are you saying,
It's
mate?
wrong.
Isaac Luke, if he did that today, would have played the grand final because it's a fine now. He only got grade 1, which was shocking.
That is
my.
disgusting.
yeah,
Bro.
it's crazy.
I didn't know that.
That's
I-
crazy.
And you know what pisses me off is the NRL back then would have been saying, we've got to have one rule for all. And
Yeah,
it's
no.
like, no, it's a grand final.
Yeah.
Like life is not that simple.
But also, you can't spend the whole season fucking pumping up the grand final as like
the pinnacle.
the pinnacle of the game, and
Yeah.
then compare it to other games when it comes to match review committee. I don't think
no,
it is
yeah,
different.
Yeah, we've got it's
but it is
completely
different. It is different. It's not the same.
Same with Origins, not as the same as Origin, but like even with Origin, like someone missing out on the opportunity to achieve
crazy.
a dream like that because of some fucking minor indiscretion. It's like, no, dude, let's be fucking real about it.
But like,
this,
what?
please.
So the whole reason for the rules and the MRC and the suspension is to kind of disincentivize that behaviour. Do you think anyone the next season was like, oh, fuck, Isaac Luke did a chicken wing, missed the game,
yeah.
I'm not going to chicken
Which
wing.
is now a fine, so
Yeah.
clearly wasn't a big deal at the time.
It's
Grade
like-
1.
So it literally served zero purpose other than shattering a kid's dream.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's all. There's not a single person playing rugby league that was like, we need to change a chicken wing because Isaac Luke did it. And fucking so dumb. And then you see
Ridiculous.
shit like this. Like Roosters were a genuine chance to be a top 4 finish. They probably still will because they got a fucking great side. Angus Crichton's pretty much their best player outside of Desco, and they might miss out on the fucking top 4 because they got their best back rower out. Like it's fucking bananas.
not bad for Manly
It is good for me
in terms of our top 4
It's
aspirations.
crazy how you might finish top 4, honestly.
I know that is actually
That
ridiculous.
is wild.
It's hilarious.
When we pump Parramatta this weekend,
We'll be top 4.
Are we top 4?
What are you going to do if you lose to Para?
well, we're
Or Roosters still ahead of us?
Roosters are, but
No, you have better points differential, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
so-
Can you please check, Matt?
but the Roosters need to lose this weekend because they're still ahead of us on points, I think.
Are they? Because they won.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they lost. They lost against Penrith.
They did lose.
But if we're on the same points, then they'd be below us because we got a better. So they'd have to be above us.
They're above you, but
Yeah.
the differential is only 19 points.
So they're better than they've got
Same
better
points.
differential.
Oh, sorry, I'll take that back. They are 1 win ahead of you, yes.
So they're 1 win ahead. So
But
if Roosters lose, you win, you go.
As long as the difference is 19, you'll jump it.
Who have the Roosters got this weekend?
Brisbane.
I've forgotten.
Brisbane. Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
tough game.
Yeah.
Tough game.
So I think basically it means if Manly win,
Yeah.
Roosters will be top 4 unless they lose to Brisbane.
Which is it's looking pretty good up there at the moment.
Oh, is it? Jeez, must have been watching
Oh,
different
rip
I'm
it.
actually
seasons.
going for the Broncos because we're going to pump the fuck out of the Eels.
Could you imagine if he's lost the Eels?
No.
Nah. I can't imagine it. Can you?
I can.
We played them this season.
We've
What
already
happened?
beaten them.
What happened? Comprehensive.
Bounce back game.
You love bounce back games. And the funny thing about your bounce back games is no one ever bounces back. They just get
No.
pounded.
Well, we were actually thinking of doing a live stream of us watching the Eels game this Saturday night as well. So if you're around, tune in because we're sitting there on a fucking couch.
You can do it here if you want. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want
Well,
to.
no, that was the plan.
We are doing it.
I've spoken to Matt.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, sorry, mate. We don't
We went
ask
above
any
you.
questions anymore.
We went
We
above
went,
you.
we went over your head.
Didn't even get an invite. Fucking mad.
You can come watch.
Of course you can come along.
No, but now it's the awkward invite.
No, it's not. We
Now
didn't
it's the
think you
awkward
want to
invite.
fucking come and sit on a couch with
I'm
us.
getting an awkward invite to
This
a
isn't
fucking
an
own
awkward
studio.
invite. It's your studio.
You can either come or you...
Let us know in the comments section, punters and dribblers. Was that an awkward invite or was that a genuine invite?
He wasn't invited. He invited himself.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You want to come?
I don't know where I stand with you guys anymore.
Come on. Come on the
I don't
fucking
know.
thing with you.
I thought that it was sweet, but
If
then
you want to
kinda-
come and be pro-Manly for the night
Yeah,
and
you
yip
gotta
and
be- you gotta be-
and talk and like gas Tommy up and shit and say how good foreign is, then come along.
Pro Manly
But
rhetoric.
if you come with like pro Eel stuff,
Nah.
Like, it's okay, but prepared to fucking lose another one. It's up to you, but we'd like to have you there.
All right, Storm versus Raiders. I think it's actually going to be a fucking great clash.
Actually,
we still got more. Apologies. Anthony Don, the great Don, retires, and he had one of the great. Honestly, this is one of the greatest retirement quotes I've personally ever seen. And
Shout out to the Don.
Shout out to the Don.
He deserves a statue outside Seabus Super Stadium.
Yes, he does.
He's the greatest ever Titan. Preston Campbell might be like, what the fuck? But, you know.
Well, has Preston got a statue at Seabus?
I don't think, but he would deserve
But
one.
Anthony's a one-club player, isn't he?
Listen to this quote. This is the quote of the punter and the dribbler. I'm not sure why I was a cult hero. Maybe because I lacked so much talent. I was skinny country kid, and I don't know if they just saw that I tried hard and did my best.
That's on the fucking statue.
Oh, that's on the statue. Anthony Don, one of the great triers.
One of the great tries all time.
It was like, maybe because I lacked so much talent. It's a tough world out there. You're playing NRL and you still think you lack that
Yeah,
much
I know,
talent.
that's true. But you know what, though?
How many games did he play?
150. And
But
he
he was
debuted
also
at 25.
he also played. He also was kind of always good, or like he was
Consistent.
like consistent, right? He was never really shit. He
No,
wasn't.
he
gonna
was
be-
never shit.
He
Mate,
wasn't Micah
imagine-
Sevo, but like he was scoring up, like getting up in the air for balls and shit. Like
Most people that watch rugby league would know his name.
Absolutely.
Which
And
is
also,
saying something.
He went through the shit years of the Titans, still turning up, getting, 10 to 15 meaties a year.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, that's really good. Like, imagine rocking up just getting towed every week. On the go. I mean, it's on the goalie, so you can fucking live your life still. But it's still hard to get up for games when you're getting fucking towed every single week.
getting worked.
So the great Don, a legend of a bloke. And
Yeah.
he's the kind of bloke that anyone that's ever met him is like, legend of a bloke.
Fuck yeah.
Definitely going to try to get him on the potty if he is in Sydney. But yeah, congratulations to Don. Also, congratulations to the great Will Hopoate, who signed with Super League.
Oh, yeah.
He's off to the Super League. He really could win a
could
Man of
get a
Steel.
Man of Steel.
He's
Yeah,
fucking
he
good.
could shit one in.
Yeah,
If he
could.
goes over there, rips and tears, because he's still like, even last year, he was making like 200 plus meters a game in that.
He's
Like,
still pretty young, isn't he, Will?
I think he's.
I
about
think
30.
of him as young.
Is he?
And
30?
I don't know why.
Man,
Fuck.
he'd come onto the scene and
Can
he
you
was
look up how old
fucking
Will Hopoate is?
Remember the
mate.
hand of God, that score, the try
Yeah,
he
in
scored in
Origin.
Origin?
29.
Okay.
That's like primetime Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Back him
That's
in.
Man of Steel.
That is Man of Steel because he's a big, strong boy, and he's the kind of guy that
Could he
rocks
still
up.
play fullback, you reckon, over
He
there?
can play fullback, but he's regardless of result, he still gives you 20 hit-ups a game. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He's not the kind of guy that rocks up and says, fuck, we're losing, fuck it, I'm not going to touch the ball. I'm just going to sit on me fucking centre. So I reckon he'll go all right there. So congratulations.
Is he the first back the Bulldogs have let go? That's bizarre.
They haven't let go of back in 20 years.
I know, that was shocking. That's the first back they've ever...
Is there like, is it a day of mourning or something?
Yeah, what the hell's
lined
going
up?
on?
They actually thought he was a
must
back
have-
rower. And they made the mistake and they're, oh, fuck, he's already signed. We
Some
can't do anything
intern
about
actually
it.
put a typo there as back rower. It's like, no, he's back, you fucking idiot.
So congratulations to both those legends on their career. Tamalolo out for the season with a third hand fracture. Second on the right. What's he doing with his hands?
What
is
is
he
he
punching
doing?
walls or something
Well,
up there?
did he box in the off-season, or was that not him?
No, that was
Paulo.
If he boxed, he'd kill someone.
Yeah,
that
he
was
would.
Paulo, the boxing
Right.
off-season.
I don't know what is going on there. Second hand fracture. Brittle bones. Is he drinking his milk?
Maybe he's too big for his own good.
That's
Maybe,
true, could be.
but I'm sensing a milk-based problem here.
Yeah, this could be like an osteo,
porosis, maybe.
Not enough milk in the diet.
Yeah,
Calcium deficiency.
Yeah, I'm sensing calcium deficiency. And
You can take supplements for that shit as well. It's not like that's
he may well have switched to skim, and that's not going to
That's
do
the
the
first
job.
mistake.
That's
your
not gonna do
bones
the
will break
job.
as soon as you switch to skim. I had to get my old man off skim. I went, bruh. He was having shape. I was like, dude, get shape out of your life. You need to get back to full cream. Your bones will become brittle.
Yeah, you got to get back to the good honest
So
stuff.
what you're trying to say, or I feel you're trying to say, is a signing with the Raiders on the card from Tamalolo, break contract.
Well, I'm not saying that necessarily. It wouldn't fucking hurt.
It wouldn't hurt. his
Obviously, it
hands.
wouldn't. When you've got milk on tap, like the
Well, it's
bubblers
part
have got
of your
milk in
contract,
them.
right? I think it's like you get.
You go to the fridge
Free
and you go to get
milk for
water
life.
out, but it's not. It's milk. The taps, all milk comes out. So obviously that would be good for him. But certainly a milk-based problem. He shouldn't have experienced his third hand fracture and second on the left hand time.
No, we get milk up to Townsville. All right, there's milk in Townsville.
Do they have?
I don't know if it's milking territory up there. I don't know if they milk that well up there. Probably not green enough.
Maybe.
I wouldn't have thought.
I thought there would have been milk in Townsville for sure, but again, I'm
sure you can buy it. I don't think you can milk it up there.
So you can't. There's no cows in Townsville.
I don't think they've got milking cows up there. I could be wrong.
I mean,
I could be dead wrong.
They're called the Cowboys.
They call the Cowboys. That could this be?
Cowboys ride horses.
Okay.
It's a good
I
point.
see what you're putting down now. Picking up.
I'm not saying there isn't cows up there.
Okay.
I'm talking about milking cows, dairy cows.
Dairy cows. Too hot for dairy cows?
I would have thought it was green enough, hot enough.
Green? It's green as shit up in Townsville. Humid fucking...
Yeah. Look that up. Look that up,
Do
Matt.
they have milk in Townsville? Can you look that up, please?
Yeah.
Is it good milking territory? I could be dead wrong.
Do the cows?
This is vibe based.
Yeah. Do they allow being milked up there? Is there some kind
Yeah.
of rule?
Are
against
there
it?
dairy cows in Townsville?
There could be a law, you're right, Denon, against the milking of
They
a
are
cow.
quite progressive up there, Townsville. That's what I mean.
That
that's what I've been
progressive?
told. Where you're not allowed to milk cows. That's what I've heard.
That could be it.
I didn't think of it before you said it, but when you said it, it rung a bell.
Rung a
like,
bell. Can't
maybe
milk
there
cows
is-
in Townsville.
Yeah.
That might be an old saying, I think, actually, as well.
I think it is an old saying, which means what?
You can't milk cows in Townsville.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
Well, it's something to do with milking cows. I don't know. I don't know the meaning of it, but I've just heard my fucking
Well,
grandma.
you can't milk cows and cows. It's like it's a job you can't do.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, like can you put up that massive sign for me, mate?
Oh, you can't milk cows in Townsville. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not up to it.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. That is a
There you
saying.
go.
Actually,
No,
it
that
all
is a
makes
saying.
sense.
Oh, you're dead fucking right. I knew I'd heard it somewhere. Maybe it was the saying that's throwing me. Yeah.
You can't milk cows
Maybe-
in Townsville.
You can't milk cows in Townsville. It's
So
an
if
old
anyone
Slim
ever-
Dusty song, I think.
So if anyone ever asks you something that's beyond your skill level, you
Slim
say to
Dusty.
them, "You can't milk cows in Townsville."
And he'll say,
what the fuck?
you fucking did right.
Yeah, no, you have to say
I
right.
apologise.
Or he might say, what the fuck are you on about?
What did you get there, Matt?
Well, I think this could make Eddie right. I can't find any dairy farms near Townsville.
You can't milk
You
cows in
can't milk
Townsville.
cows in Townsville. There you go. Yeah, you fucking
Makes
go.
sense.
I told you. I fucking told
No wonder
you.
his hands are breaking.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his hands broke trying to milk the cows.
Well, he's trying to find cows to milk, it would seem.
Well, there's cows up there. They're not milking cows.
No, right. So he's just been booted by a cow. That's not an udder, brother. That's a...
That's a cock.
He's trying to milk a
Trying to milk a bull.
Storm versus Raiders. We got Kafusi and Nas back for Storm, which is a scary prospect. Simonson returns after 5 games. He's actually really good from the fullback. What about the forgotten man for the Raiders, the Charnze Nicoll Klokstad? He is... They miss him
Yeah.
fucking so much.
I didn't realise his injury was a season-ending injury when
Yeah.
it first happened. I thought it was like a couple of, like maybe a month or a couple of months or something. It's like, I didn't ever see the thing where it was like, oh no, he's done for the year.
Well, it's just like it's footy, but the heights you can reach, and then how quickly you can just disappear. You know, it's fucking. And obviously he's going to be back, but again, he's in a grand. He was before he went off with cramps. He was the best player on the field in that grand final, in my opinion. And now he's got a fucking. I think he's, was it neck? Did you
Yeah, I
say?
think it was neck.
Fuck, and like you haven't heard from him in fucking forever.
No, you haven't.
But anyway, who you got? Storm Raiders.
I think Storm do it comfortably.
Comfortably, yeah.
Comfortably.
You know what is fucking someone left a comment and they were 100% right. They were like, I just think it's really ironic that you say the name of the show is Round 22 Preview, but you preview for about 30 seconds at the end of the whole fucking podcast. And I was like, touche, that's
Yeah,
correct.
no, well played.
I am going...
But what do you prefer?
Yeah.
That's the
I
question.
mean, we can give you X's and O's, or we can tell you about milking cows in Townsville.
And guess what? You can't milk
You can't
cows
do
in
it.
Townsville.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Yeah. You come here for the props.
But he did make it clear that he liked it.
Oh,
so
good.
he made
He
that
wasn't
clear.
complaining.
Yeah, he wasn't complaining. The punters dribbles, they don't complain.
No, they don't.
Well,
So
hope
good.
not often.
No.
The last thing you want is a dribbler complaining because that can fucking really go on.
Oh, mate. No. Mute.
I think Storm and Storm quite substantially.
Yes.
But they haven't been playing as good footy as they were maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago.
Of course you say that because they come up against Manly and we're the only team to actually stop them from putting on 40 points.
No, but the week before, they just beat the Cowboys, didn't they?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, they still played well against you guys. Like, it's
That was
not
the
like-
best they can play.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Storm 13.
I think we made that very clear at the start.
Storm 13 plus. Now, onto the Dragons v the Panthers. All players have now served their barbecue bans. Ramsey requires dental surgery after 2 teeth
Oh, yeah, that
snaps.
looked fucking gross.
Wow. Unlucky to play again this season. Sims suspended. Crichton returns from suspension. Catewell suspended. A lot of suspensions. What do you got? Dragons v Panthers.
Panthers should pump them and pump them well.
What's Cable suspended for?
I'm not sure.
Dangerous throw.
Dangerous throw. Oh, it was actually. Is that? My old man was telling me about this throw in this game, and apparently it was a fucking soft as shit. But then, that being said, I'm talking to my old man and I haven't even seen the fucking video. Yeah, surely the Panthers just beat the fuck out of them, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no world in which that doesn't happen.
Isaiah Yeo coming back is so big for them. Fuck, he gives them extra. I'm going Panthers.
Has Cleary been named?
I don't think so.
He's like in the 21.
Yeah.
but
Fuck, wasn't
like
that
not
a
in the
Warple?
17.
They named him last
they
week.
better not play him too early.
They're
don't
surely not going
need
to play him against the Dragons.
Why
right?
would you bother?
Why?
If he plays against the Dragons, put a line through him.
It's
They won't win the comp.
No.
That's how desperate they've become.
There's no point.
No point.
Broncos, so we're going Panthers 13
Yeah,
plus?
13 plus. Yeah.
Broncos v the Roosters. Coates finally back. Flegler returns. Palacia will miss the rest of the season with fractured shoulder blade. Albert Kelly starting at halfback. Crichton suspended. Hargreaves rested. Talk about Trent Robinson going, we don't even need our main front row.
Yeah, I know. There's a little disrespect there. Again, I think it's...
Well, he's toiled all year.
He
He
fucking
needed a fucking breather.
He has toiled. Has he been getting a bit like penalty happy recently? Is there something about like... I'm just asking here, but like it seemed like he's been a little bit more
He's always had a
fractious. Oh, he's always got a penalty in him. But,
got-
you know,
I wonder who the most penalised player in the history of the game is.
He'd have to, well,
Hopoate the most suspended, 10 years.
but
He's
the
been-
most penalties, Jared's given away a fuckload.
Yeah.
But he's
a
played
great
plenty of
question.
games
That'd be
as well.
a great stat to know.
That would
most
be a great
penalised player
stat.
in history.
If he ever walked in after 80 minutes and he hadn't given a penalty away, I reckon Trent Robinson would be like, it feels weird. What's something?
Are you all
different?
right, dude?
Have you cut your hair?
Yeah. Are you okay?
What's like something's different? Oh, you didn't give a penalty away. Fuck. But guess what? Guess who is one guy that earned a penalty giveaway? It's Gerard Hargreaves. Because he fucking rips and tears for his
Oh, yeah, mate. He earns 3 or 4 a game, the way
Fucking
he rips and
oath.
tears. Sets the standard.
I'm going-
Uncompromising.
Broncos 1-12.
No.
Back your team. You should have gone 15 plus. They're definitely going to win now.
Whoa, he's a pussy. Roosters will win.
Roosters.
South versus Titans.
I think this is a high-scoring game, but I think South pump them.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
didn't
feeling.
mind Titans last week.
Yeah, but
That's how they go, right?
Titans, they go all right against shit teams.
Okay, I'm going.
Like, are you getting excited over that win?
I like their defence in the first half and the fact they completed 20 from 20, but South are throbbing
Yeah,
right
they
now.
are throbbing. They're
South put 40 on the
pulsating,
Eels last week.
veiny dog.
So I'm going South for the win.
South definitely for a big win.
South 13 plus.
Mansour 2 tries, Trell 1 try.
Cowboys versus the Tigers. This is a tough one.
Match
to
of the
call.
round. Match of the round.
Tigers named same 17 as last week. Cowboys missing Tamalolo, Talagi, and Burr. Roberts on extended bench after his quarantine seat for the Tigers. This is tough. I am going to go Cowboys for the bounce back.
I like you. I like that. I don't agree with it. I don't think that. To be honest, though, it's a coin flip. I'm going Tigers because Taumalolo's out, and they were already not good with him.
What's great? Well, Cowboys actually won more games without.
Well, that
Tamalolo.
fucking.
I think Cowboys.
completely goes in the face of my
Cowboys
idea.
bounce back.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I think so.
I'm so out of form with my tipping and betting. So
Are you still positive or negative now?
Oh no, I'm still positive.
Yeah.
I'm fucking way up.
Oh,
but,
whoa.
but I was leading and then I was losing.
What are you coming?
He's coming
Well,
second.
I was coming first, but Tom last week,
Oh, big lift.
he's got no balls.
no, I just
He's got
basically-
no
I'll tell you what it
balls.
was.
Safe. You
He
went
put
safe.
he put on
well.
multis paying like 500 to 1, so he wouldn't lose any money.
It
Just
was,
a
it- tell you what
fucking-
it was.
You're a
It
cat.
was I
No
was-
ticker
no
whatsoever.
ticker.
And people,
It
the
was-
people see straight
Yeah,
through it.
no
They're like,
one
that
remembers
guy's
that
fucking
victory.
weak
No,
as
no.
piss.
If you
It's
win,
all right.
if you win by soft bets like that, it's not
Listen,
really a win.
I got to where I was making, nuts on the line bets. Last week, though, was like, being rocked in a fight, and I'm thinking UFC here, and then I just start shooting for takedowns, but I've got no ground game. I'm just trying to do whatever I can to survive. Luckily, I've survived, but it
yeah, but
doesn't
no
look
one
good.
you're the kind of UFC fighter that gets booed because you wrestled for 3
I
rounds.
should have been booed. Oh, no, last week's,
Whereas
last
at
week's
least
bets.
you're like the Derek Lewis. Like you might have got knocked out, but you're coming the next time to fight.
I don't mind being booed either.
Oh, you don't mind the booing.
And booed you have been.
I've been booed, but that's all right to be booed. It's better than
He
being
was
boring.
like, he was beloved and now he's hated. Everyone's
Yeah.
like,
I've
"You're
turned
actually a
heel, dude.
fraud."
I've turned
Because
heel.
you know what? You got to the top and you've holding onto it too tight.
Correct. I've lost my identity. Who am I without the fucking title? I don't know. I don't know.
That is about even the greatest punting show in the history of mankind. Make sure to go to YouTube, subscribe to Hello Sport, but then also leave your bet in the comment section.
Yes.
Who won last time?
They didn't
last week we did, but
We won.
the dude who was a good guy, he actually was like, he went and donated to your fund off the back of.
Oh, what a legend.
So
Legend of a bloke.
legend of a
So
bloke.
leave your bet in their comment section, not my comment section, their comment section, and they will choose one to give a free case of Bloke in a Bar if you beat their bet. Manly versus Eels, Paseka out for 2 to 3 weeks, Sipley suspended for a week, Lussick to replace Marnie, Michael Oldfield to play on the wing in place of Hayes Dunster, Makahesi Makatoa named to make NRL debut off the bench.
Michael Oldfield is a dear friend of both mine and Eddie's, and so I'm just going to pick him to score a try in the game. I don't want Parramatta to win, obviously, but shout out to Mikey Oldfield, fastest motherfucker in town. And he's a journeyman. He's played like for every NRL club, I think, that's
Just
ever
about.
existed.
And he played for Catalans as well. And I think he was highest try scorer
Is
when he was
he-
over there. I could be wrong.
Is he a crumpet man? Went away, got a bit of crumpet, come back playing NRL?
Correct. Well, he played NRL. Yeah, he was playing NRL, played Manly, played South, played fucking
Sharks.
Panthers. No, not Sharks. Played Panthers, played Raiders. And
Yeah,
now
right.
Eels.
Yeah.
So he's definitely a crumpet man.
Oh, yeah, he loves
I
his
love
crumpets.
crumpets.
And at
Loves-
Catalans, which is the crumpet club.
Well, it's the crumpet capital of the world.
Yes.
Catalan crumpets.
Yeah, that's what they call it, isn't it? Yeah.
Most people just drop the Catalans from it's a official title.
Yes.
Now
should
they're just
open-
called crumpets.
They should open a store in Catalan.
Well, I think there are a couple
Mate, there's
of stores
statues and shit of crumpets in
there.
Catalan.
Yeah.
Catalan.
Manly versus Eels. What are you going?
Manly 20 plus.
Yeah.
Eels bounce back 13+ win.
Fuck off.
What? It's
13 plus.
13, mate. The Eels are for a bounce back.
Mate, they
They're
don't
due
even
for a
have
Have the
money.
Eels beaten anyone by 13 points this year?
Mate,
No, they haven't.
I can sense a massive bounce back flying into finals.
Pretty
footy.
sure they haven't won a game without Reid Marnie since he started at the club. Do your own research on those stats, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
I just think there's a big bounce back happening. Mitchell Moses played with a fractured back. By the last 20, he was back in it. He's got his unstiffened. He's good to go now.
Manly are so fucking hot. It's just not. There's no other way of this thing going other than just a famous Manly. And we also,
Then third degree burns for the Eels.
yeah, we also kidded that we also sent up a full box of punters and dribblers hats for the entire side. So that's an omen that you can take to the bank. They're dressed
what?
in punters
You
and
can,
dribblers.
you can cash that check.
That omen that was posted the other week with the Turbo Saab, because not only was the Turbo Saab, the car was a maroon colour,
yeah.
and his jumper was maroon.
Yeah.
It was one of the great
It
omens.
was one of the great
Didn't
omens.
come
We
off, though.
didn't. Well, we didn't win, but that was more referee.
No, it was an early omen.
early on.
Oh, so it wasn't an omen for that week. It was omen for grand
It
final.
was an October omen.
Yeah.
See, if you're
See, again, if you've studied omenry like Tom and I, you can recognise where the omen sits.
Yeah.
Because omens come to you not necessarily the day before or the week before, but sometimes months before.
even years.
Yeah.
Even years.
Even years.
Sometimes decades, centuries down.
So is it a degree of omology or a degree of omenry?
Omenry.
Yes.
Okay.
Is the official title.
Yes.
I believe you've used omology in the past.
Omenology.
Apologies, I
No,
threw
that's
it
all
out
right.
there.
Well, look, you're not a professor of omenry, so of course you use the wrong
So
terminology.
omenry is
Omenry,
So
yes.
if you're studying a degree of
Omenology, I think, is more
Well,
of a
you-
TAFE course.
omology,
You can be. You're an omenologist, but you study omenry.
omenry.
Yeah.
Okay, I like omology,
Omology or omenology,
just omology.
but that's not
Sounds-
doesn't have
it
the word
goes-
omen in it.
Yeah, but it's a lot of those like pathology and shit like that. You know
I
what
think
mean? That's half the
I think
work.
in omology you learn how to use Omo detergent.
Oh, so that's like a
You've got it
dishwashing
wrong.
thing. Yeah, you've
That's
got the
like
wrong thing.
dishwashing course
That is
101.
you can mix those two things up.
Yeah.
Omology and omenry.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've studied omenry.
Okay,
You've
apologies.
studied how to use dishwashing liquid.
A common mistake. It's
a common mistake.
So next game, Warriors v Bulldogs. Lodge and Evans out with suspension. Towns and Egan on extended reserves. Napper and Hetherington both suspended. Ryan James, Corey Horsburgh on loan. Who you got? Warriors Bulldogs.
I'm just going to go the Dogs. They've got Warriors have got Lodge and Evans out. Fuck it. The Bulldogs have got Horsburgh and Ryan James in. Fuck it. I'm going the Dogs.
I think the Warriors will win.
I just think Adam Fanua-Blake is such a big, thick boy.
Oh, he's big and thick.
And he will just skittle the forward back. So I am going Warriors, but I think it's going to be a close game. Sharks v Knights. Chambers has been dropped. Talakai takes his spot. Bradman Best has been named to play. I mean, Chambers dropped. He actually, when you actually look at his stats, he didn't actually play that well. What I love is that he went down fighting.
Well, he hasn't been playing that well, but he's just been lippy.
Yeah.
Tell you what, he's brought a lot of lip.
Brought a lot of lip.
If
Do you reckon
that
he's
was a
been getting
metric
picked
that
on lip?
coaches cared,
Sorry?
Do you reckon he's been getting picked on lip?
Getting picked on lip. What do you
as
mean
in
by
like picked on his ability to provide lip.
Oh, okay. So you think that he actually had
He's
been
a lippy-based
selected.
selection.
Oh, okay. So like,
Yes.
well, we need a we need a bit of lip. Let's get Chambers.
Let's
in.
get James.
Well, I mean, if he hasn't been playing that well and
He's
he keeps getting
34.
picked, you got to say to yourself, why is he getting picked? Well,
Well,
maybe he's getting picked for the lip.
I thought it was because he's one of the best centers of his generation. He's played Origin, won premierships. But
That's all in the past.
he's 33, Dennis.
the lippy side of things, it may be the case. It may be. You know what's crazy?
Maybe
is-
the lip's gone too far. You've been dropped for the lip now instead of pick for it.
Pick for the lip.
Hey, the
drop for
lip
the
can kill or save you.
Yeah.
You know, many a man
Live
have
Die by the lip,
die
die
by
by the lip.
live by the lip, die by the lip.
Now the great saying, age old,
Yeah.
centuries old.
Yeah, yeah.
My
That's
old
a
man
rugby
always
league
said that.
adage.
Yeah.
I wonder where that started.
Well, I think it was 1908 when the game started. Live by the lip, die by the lip.
And what someone actually died by getting lippy and getting knocked out.
I think he got punched to death. Yeah.
Well, live by the lip, live through glory, attributed to lip because you outlip someone, and then die by the lip by fucking
get
getting
fed.
king,
Yeah.
king it and killed for being too lippy. Pretty fucking self-explanatory.
I am going Knights for the win.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Knights for the win. Okay,
No
guys.
lip out there, can't win.
Nah.
Yeah, there's no way they're winning without a bit of lip.
Nah.
Okay, make sure to follow Hello Sport on Instagram, also Punters and Dribblers on Facebook, Hello Sport YouTube channel. You've also got About Even, the best punting show in the world. Any other announcement? Anything else going on?
No. Oh, Denenkamp's coming along Saturday night to the.
I mean, let
Manly
us
Parramatta.
know. You need to let us know in the comments section. Was that an authentic invite, or was it an awkward?
Bro,
oh,
we
shit.
hadn't even told you we were doing it yet. So
That's
obviously-
why it's not an authentic invite, because I haven't even been discussed in the like that it was happening.
But
we wanted to surprise
we wanted to
you.
surprise
No,
you.
because this is what happens. A party is organised. The party is organised. And then somehow the person you don't want to finds out, and then the
Bro,
awkward
I
invite
fucking
happens.
told you. I told you.
But how do you know you went on the list?
That's also a good
it's the
point.
vibe I'm getting.
No, please.
You know, you may have.
You
a
haven't
degree
seen- have
in
you seen the
ovary.
list?
Have I seen the list? No, I haven't. Where's the list?
it's at home. It's
at
Is it
You're on it though.
Is there someone that's standing at the door that's going to be like looking for who's on the list?
Yeah, yeah.
Matt.
So it's actually Matt's fault for not passing on that I was on the list.
Yes. Yes.
So Matt's the dog.
Yeah.
Which is very understandable. That happens quite a lot. As usual, guys, grab a case of Bloke in a Bar, go to bloke.shop, grab a hat, grab a beanie, grab the socks, they're nearly sold out, and I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.